Keen. This is fantastic because it's not only a decent matchup into a tank as, wait.
Pantheon support?
It has to be, right?
Yes.
Oh my god, Pantheon Sejuani is insane because you can use the empower. That is going to be the case here. And again, to remind everyone, the way that the Pantheon W works, when he has the 5 stacks, if he does jump onto someone, the free autos you do afterwards immediately proc permafrost, so Keen needs to be careful.
Yeah, let's see whether he's going to survive. This is 3 versus 1. I don't think he's looking too hot in this one, and down will Keen go. First blood over to the Rek'Sai, and Zeus is...
Has his Prio in mid, roaming up towards top.
Weave as well comes out immediately, and they're looking to hold them in position. Duro gets into the shapeshifter, but there's a seismic shove. Viper picks it up, and it's 2-0 for HLE. About 1,000 gold. HLE trying to get some grubs here, as it is going to be first one taken away by Peanut. Standing in the back of the pit, wondering whether they want to fight for this or not, as you've got Zeka rotating over the flash forward from Delight. He gets the stun, the seismic shove on it too, as Zeka is put in the prison, but he does not care about it. Canyon trying to get himself out of there as Viper's still at full health, and Ruler finally will show up as we've got to fight towards the bottom side at the same time. This last crab should belong to HLE. As you can see, Ruler getting himself out of there, and in the meantime, this battle's still happening here on the bottom side. Keen and Zeus just utilizing all of that region and their kit to be okay. That's a... What? The Arcade Ship 4? That was insanity here from Duro, as his clone goes... more objective, and they will be able to upgrade their shoes. And that is going to be coming in right now, so we'll be looking at that one to see whether HLE can get those upgrades. Here is Shelly down to about 2/3 health. Gen.G don't find too much joy with the True Shot Barrage, and it's a lot of jockeying for position. Delight in a good one of those, as we can see. But he flashes for it. He knew that they were coming, and Canyon gets himself out of there. Glacial Prison not quite getting too much done here, as Zeus is going to have to tunnel his way out. Shelly had reset, but it looks like Gen.G have claimed control of the area.
And there you see the trigger pull doesn't work, and Hanwha Life need to either let this go or look for a re-engage.
Well, let's see what they can actually make work here as Zeka goes in, puts the wall down, gets out of there pretty quickly, as we do have the Rift Herald going over to Gen.G, and now they're looking for Zeka in the back of the pit. He didn't want to use the flashes. Now Canyon could be in a bit of trouble. Viper flashes away, but it's Zeka that's in trouble. Keen gets his revenge as he takes down 2. This Aatrox just bursts to life at 16 minutes into the game, and Gen.G
started the fight, the hesitation for Hanwha Life, because again, I think their comp stands or falls by the first second of the fight. They use their tools
play of their own as they set the sights on the Keen. I don't think this is an easy dive.
Yeah, this Sundered Sky item is pretty good, as we do see everyone making their way down. Diving in Aatrox has been hard, but with all of your friends, you can take him down.
Okay, you got Aatrox. Look at top lane though.
No, don't look at top lane.
Look at mid lane.
Don't look at top lane.
No, I think they should.
Yeah, no, you're right. The play was, they did manage to do what they wanted to do. Unfortunately, the fallout is kind of insane, as this is an inner turret falling down, and the outer in the mid lane as well, which some would argue is even more important, as now Canyon has found Delight. Lots of damage as the double cyclone does come on in, and Ruler is there to back up the monkey. Canyon being really active here in this mid-game.
Actually, nicely done by Canyon. They will get the Hanwha Life with that play being extended towards top, get a inner turret themselves, which means that started the play. But mid lane turret is such a crucial objective as Ruler.
In the Ruler spot here in the mid lane, will get knocked up. There's the permafrost, and that is the chain CC that we were talking about.
And HLE have to respect it.
Yeah, and there's a lot more of it now with all of these structures hitting the ground. As Zeus, look at Chovy here, but he just walks his way out. There's the ulti to start this one up, but the ult from Peanut is not going to put Chovy in prison. He will get pushed out of the way as there's the flash forward, they get the knock up, there's the permafrost, and I guess you don't need to hit your R button if you've got a whole bunch of others.
And Chovy was confident in the 1v2, but there was 4 people there! So that might just be Otacon!
Quite frankly, Chovy was just flat out disrespectful. He was staring down the face of 2. He tried to go back for a trade, and he didn't respect Peanut's initiation range. It opens up the Otacon, and this gold lead that Gen.G had built is slowly whittling away.
Not to mention the fact that HLE can now catch up in petals, because they were getting destroyed on that front as well. So that number will be able to even out as this game goes on. And that advantage that Gen.G...
TP.
Yeah. Nico's searching out, but you can see Zeus looking to get on top of Chovy one more time. This dragon down to about 4.5k as Peanut goes in, finds the Glacial Prison. This time, but the Bomb Blossom is too good! As Duro will be able to even get the kill on his opposite number. HLE falling down left and right, and it's Keen once again. He will be the last one to go down, and it's a triple for Ruler. We can see as they get full vision of this Baron. It's going down pretty quickly as Zeka will make his way over, teleport in from Keen as well. Let's see whether they can take this Baron, because this could be a difficult team fight. True Shot Barrage goes through Peanut, locks down the Baron. Delight is so incredibly low, but he had the shield for so long. They get rid of him, but can HLE keep themselves alive? Viper cannot, and Gen.G will get the punishment
right now.
Utilizing the Tremor Sense quite effectively here as Zeus goes underground, senses what's going on. They clear out the way, but it looks like the Dragon is going to be started. Zeka gets himself over. Let's see whether Peanut can do it again. The Pop Blossom comes through, lands on top 4, and Delight once again goes down instantly. It's a trade of supports as now Ruler is free hitting the Realm of just a zone Zeka away. They do manage to get 2 though, and there is the root. They get the knock up. Chovy goes down. Ruler is still standing though, and it's a triple for Viper. He wants to pick up that quadra kill, but mainly they're just happy they won the fight. Zeka gets back in, and with a full health bar, I think they should be able to get rid of Ruler here, or at least push him away.
And the last time, Humble Life get the objective, pay dearly. This time, Gen.G get the objective, but they pay dearly as still 30 seconds. This mid lane turret about to fall.
This time round, HLE didn't commit everything into trying to force the fight. Their positioning, playing the front to back, worked much more favorably for them, but they're spending a lot of time on the map. The respawns are coming through. They need to get back to base.
When is he actually went down to like 30 HP, so he didn't get to play the big drain tank, as we're still going.
Yeah, Peanut going in, looking for more pop. Once again, it's 4! True Shot Barrage there as they try and keep Ruler out of the fight, but now he's in there. Zeus at full health though, as Peanut going down so incredibly low, and Viper getting so much damage in the fight. Keen finds the angle, but Peanut has the Winter's Wrath, and now it's Zeus going down. Viper at 100, and Ruler will not be stopped. Looking for it, he flashes forward, and it's a double for the Ezreal as well.
They know teleport comes in from Keen.
Yeah, vision absolutely everywhere here for Gen.G as Duro makes his presence known. Keen spotted with the Tremor Senses. Canyon tries to get in there, but he just blast cones his way out. Keen has also found the knock-up onto Zeus. It could have been the mistake as he throws down the ulti. They look for a bit more, but it's Ruler that's dominating. And now it's a 4v5 in Gen.G's favor, and they're looking for a Baron themselves. HLE, they do not want to let this go, but I think they might even have to as Canyon goes in, seismic shove. Not going to quite find it as Duro finds another Pop Blossom onto everyone that was left, and then it's mopped up by the Aatrox.
The Wombo combo is beautiful from Gen.G as they hunt down the retreating HLE members. Canyon, the smite of the team, doesn't even care about being in the Baron pit. That wasn't their objective. They wanted to win the fight, and they want to win game 1.
And it's the fact that the turn on Canyon doesn't work out. That blast cone saves his life. Zeus, as a result, is in an awkward spot because they don't trade 1-for-1. The entirety of Hanwha was trying to take down the top laner, and it doesn't end up working, and now Hanwha Live, just like that, that might be game 1!
Yep, Peanut's back was stopped this entire time. Nexus turrets now lie in ruins as this, he's trying to protect it, but it does not work. First Nexus is claimed by Gen.G, but man, that was a banger.
Ziggs on top of it. Yes, it's a lot of magic damage. Oh, he's gonna lock in Gwen. He locks in Gwen, okay. He says, nope, I want kill threats on the back line. I'm looking for flanks. I'm looking to make their poke redundant as I run straight towards them and look to snip.
The agent of chaos for creating chaos. That's just what they do.
That's true.
You know, that's why they're there.
It feels like a beautiful culmination of what has been.
Keen?
Keen's running with scissors, and Zeus needs to get the heck out of the way. Snip, snip. One more would have done it. But he holds position. Flash is not traded, as Keen knew that he couldn't confirm the kill. Didn't want to make himself too vulnerable. But Zeus, he's not going to be able to get back to this wave, like, ever. He does decide to do so, as now Keen could be the one in trouble. But Keen had the scissors out and chopped. And that seems to be happening once again. Only a slight lead as far as CS is concerned. We'll be teleporting back as we've got a bit of a scuffle here towards this bottom side. Heroic charge, not quite doing too much as Keen trying to get the damage down onto Delight. There's the hook, but it doesn't quite hit the mark that they were looking for. Zeus still dashing around, trying to find the angle. Peanut making his way in. He'll get the audacious charge. Wind becomes lightning, and he takes down Duro. Keen gets one back, but it's a double for the man on his last.
They'll do a little bit, but they're not contesting this really, and just going to give up the early objective.
Yep. Having a look at it here from the side angle. It's just Canyon finishing this one off.
It's pretty interesting that even though Keen has 2 kills.
150, but it's not quite enough. As the B-Zig's going to make his way back towards this mid lane, but that is a decent amount of cooldowns now eaten up here, as Viper does need to now wait the longer time for that one to come back off.
Will Net on light the 2 grubs. That really is the matchup completely. Really looking at a bit more of a substantial gold leader, some item finishes, which haven't quite come through. As Duro's here.
Yeah, a little bit of a face check here from Zeus as he throws out the public execution. Duro, he's going to turn up though, and down goes the Ambassador. That is feats of warfare here to the Keeper's verdict, but not susceptible to having this Drake taken away, as it is just going to be removed. Popping up are not going to do too much as Duro through, so Canyon wanting to put that one together. We don't have feats of strength down just yet, but this will mean it for Gen G. As Peanut goes in, not wanting to give this one away. As you can see, the Hextech Minefield doing so much work to flash out of the way. The Mega Inferno Bomb was necessary. Zeus, it's a teleport overextension as he flashes away back into the pit, but it looks like Peanut might be able to take it. There it is. As they look for the eye as well, Peanut will be able to collect that one. Keeper's verdict gets rid of the Jarvan, and now Keen has to be the savior for Gen G, and he may be just that as he takes
the Jarvan whatsoever as Duro
in trouble yet again here as Delight looking for a bit of an angle, doesn't quite get there, but when the wind becomes lightning, does get the slow. Peanut, another audacious charge as Canyon comes on through, Mega Inferno Bomb, and that is so much damage to the nation that it can. They're not going to give this one up without a fight. Mega Inferno Bomb is going to be there. Let's see how much damage it's going to get down on both of the carries into that backline. Is now Duro once again going to be eliminated for Keen. He's alive! Finds the backline. Delight going to be the first one to go down as Ruler is able to do it. Peanut gets in, but it's Canyon with the smite. This time around, Soul Point, some cool shoes, and let's see whether they can win this fight at the same time. Great knock-up onto Zeus as he's trying to dash his way up, and Zeka finds the angle onto Ruler. The Emperor's Divide will find it again as Zeus is able to take down Canyon HLE.
If Gen G try to approach, it's so difficult. So this should be an uncontested objective. But as I say that, Canyon's making his way down.
Yep, they're looking to fight for the Otacon. They're not going to be able to stop this tower from falling down. Yep, 2 teleports bring Duro and Keen into the fight. The Otacon down to 50%. HLE do need to be careful. Steadfast presence is decent, but it's only onto Duro, and Delight is already taken down. Viper getting closed in onto Chovy as Zeus looking for Keen in that backline, but I don't know whether he wants that fight as Peanut so close to dead. The Crescent Guard doesn't work, and he's thrown into the sky by the Demacian Prince. Now the Otacon should go over to Gen G, unless Zeus can do anything about it. It is going to be there, and Zeus also going to get picked off, although he's looking for Chovy before he goes down. Chovy barely survived, and it's Ruler that picks up the kill. Emperor's Divide used defensively here as HLE limp away.
This fight was just so one-sided from Gen G. They converted pick after pick after pick, as it felt like HLE, the uncoordination that we saw from game 1 sprouts up once more.
And it's the mark from Keen onto Zeus. Last time he was trying to 1v2, that doesn't work out. But Keen keeps Zeus out of the fight, and even though this Mbessa isn't necessarily in the best of spots, if he finds an ult onto Ruler or Chovy, they will fight.
Let's see what they can actually get done here. Like you were saying, Cloud Soul going to make this poke comp difficult to play as Chovy going to get cornered here, but gets out of the way of the bomb. They did manage to take him down in the end though, as Viper is untouched. Keen gets in there, he's in the mist looking for Zeus, but the needlework doesn't quite connect, and now it's him.
Chovy, and that is Soul Point denying a humble life, showing that Gen G had to work for it in game 1. They're going to have to work for it in this one.
The beauty of these secure that top tower. That is now all outer towers finally going down. 26 minutes into the game. Yeah. Just goes to show how much slower this one has been.
From Ruler has flipped the game on blue buff.
Yeah, let's do that. I think that sounds like a fun idea. We've got teleports committed. As now Delight going down incredibly low. Keen is just going to chop him to pieces. The Poppy's not there, but the Emperor's Divide is going to try to punish. He wants to take Viper with him. It doesn't quite work. And now they look to go in. It's a beautiful Cataclysm to break up the fight as Canyon also able to walk his way out. Peanut, he couldn't do so, as now Ruler is trying to do what he can. And the flag takes down the Xin Zhao. Gen G, with 4 left standing, managed to win the fight.
Keen takes things into his own hands as he runs down the HLE support, turning this into a chaotic skirmish, which Gen G walk away the victors. Now there's no jungler on the side of HLE. This Baron will be uncontested, and Gen G, just like that, take firm control over game 2.
And it sets up into that Soul in a minute and 15. Dragon is gonna spawn, and Gen G...
Yeah. Helper, not as much, as far as frustration is concerned, as now Gen G with this siege set up. Cloud Dragon, Delight off to the side, wanting to try and make this helicopter work for him. If this Keeper's verdict lands, it could be such a big deal. Chains of Corruption, he's going to start this fight as Peanut. Crescent Guard there to keep himself safe. And now the flash in, he gets Duro, he managed to cancel it! Public Execution is still going to be able to find Zeus away into the backline, but the Cataclysm is there from Canyon to buy the space, and Zeka goes down! Zeus is going to follow suit, and he tried as he might, but Gen G are going to win out, and even though they lose, the Drake might be able to take even more.
Peanut steals away the dragon, but the cost was so much. Gen G, they're hunting, they're fighting, they're trying to deny HLE from getting back to base, because if they stop Viper, then the wave clear disappears. With the Baron, they're setting their sights on their first inhibitor of the game.
BTPs, 40 seconds, initial highlight, Vedi. If any other member was alive, I think they're just cooked, but it's Viper that's still there.
Oh, Peanut gets a whole lot of his health back, but unfortunately, Chovy's goes over to the side and now is going to show himself. Peanut is alongside him, but that means he's nowhere near the pit. This is the long con from Canyon. Can he find the angle? Duro goes in, but the steadfast presence stops it. It denies it, and there's the Empress Divine doing absolutely nothing. Ruler this time gets the last laugh as they dive on forward. It's the resurrection here for Canyon as HLE now trying to do what they can. Viper is still alive with so much damage. Ruler is there as well, but the artillery not quite landing. A 3 versus 3 after all is said and done. And is that it? Okay, it's a stalemate.
Zeka looks to have his faker moment, but Ruler's been here before. He does not allow Zeka to find the angle. The Azir drops so quickly, but HLE still find a good fight. It's a 3 versus 3. Peanut and Canyon are both alive.
Yeah, we're going to flip back. He's running as fast as he can.
He's going to try and get there as soon as he can, but I don't know whether it's quite going to work.
Here we go.
Canyon needs to hit this fight. He does it. It's taken by Viper. Mega Inferno Bomb gets rid of Duro, but now Canyon, can he find the damage in this one? And he should be able to, but no, the satchel gets him over, and the Q is this one. This second Baron is going to be so difficult for them to deal with. The Poppycopter, it gets rid of the job, and there's no smites in here now as the Public Execution connects on a Trophy. So much damage from Zeus as they've taken down already from down. It's Viper from Zeus, who was such a monster finding the angle onto the backline, and that will net them.
I want to draw your attention to some of these flanking wards, possibilities that Gen G could be looking for.
This is so scary. These bouncing bombs, as you can see, doesn't matter who you are, it's going to do a whole lot of damage. The minefield down, the satchel down. Now the minefield's going to fall, but Duro doesn't find the hook as they get rid of the Joven again. Chovy's almost just dead before it even starts as they'll take Duro as a consolation kill. And the Public Execution brings Zeus into the backline. 1 versus 3, but he's got friends on the way. And the Empress Divine, it shuts down Keen. Canyon is now looking to run his way to the other side of the map as Peanut will find him. It's jungle versus jungle, and Peanut says, not this time, Canyon. HLE are going to look to even out the series as Gen G should be losing most of their base.
And Hanwha Life's tenacity will be rewarded as they try to pull the waves, but it doesn't matter. Hanwha is in their base.
Yep, these minions should stay alive, and they've got so much damage to these structures. As Ruler just doing his best. The Baron is worn off. Mega in front of him this time. Not going to connect. Shockwave is going to connect as well. As Chovy, third Baron. This is now officially the longest game at Worlds, and it's not looking that close to ending just yet. Satchel is decent there. As let's see what the Poppy can get done. It hits two. It's Ruler and Chovy. And Zeus looks to get in there, and now Duro should be the first one to fall, but no one's gone down yet. Zeka is the first one to go, as now Zeus gets chopped up by Keen. The bouncing bombs are still there, though. Viper is at full health, but Gwen is immune. Chovy is not quite so much. And we've got the Hex Flash from Delight. Let's see whether he can buy the angle. He doesn't have the ultimate, but he does have the smite angle. Chovy also now having to deal with the Baron, but they get rid of the Poppy, and down goes the Baron. Absolutely required.
He's going to keep on poking, but we can see the wave clear from Viper remains an issue.
And gentlemen, we have hit
longest has to get back to base as quickly as possible. The hook started.
Yep, there is the hook connecting here as it's onto Peanut. Can he actually keep himself alive? The answer is yes. Mega Inferno Bomb into the backline breaks the shields. And Zeus, he now wants to be able to find that angle. Heroic charge from Delight as he's trying to be a hero. The Shockwave is going to connect, but Zeus gets into the backline as well. Out goes Canyon yet again. but Zeus, I mean, he's Ambessa, so should be able to get himself to
position around the Drake, but in that war of attrition, it was Gen.G that held strong. HLE, they couldn't threaten the backline like they could earlier. The ulti from Viper just knocking off those spell shields.
Oh, down to 4.
He's waiting.
Can't afford to fight, they have to stall, and they have the chance to do it.
I love this from Helmut. So what they're doing, despite everything, and you gotta imagine after a game like this is Keen.
Keen could be in a little bit of trouble here as they look to take him down. He's flashed, and there's the ulti out of
Who's the
Zeus.
base?
Are they looking to just go for a base race just right here? Keen buys a bit of time, but he is now
Six is
dead.
there.
And they've got a minion wave coming on through. It looks like Gen.G might be able to get it done, but Viper is still here. The minion wave is not. As Zeus is looking to stop these backs. He's got a GA, and never mind. They want to go for the team fight. Out. We must order one. Let's see. As Mega Inferno Bomb comes down, but it's eaten by a whole bunch of shields. As, oh my God. Okay. That's all right. HLE looking to try and defend this inner turret. It's probably not the hill that I'd die on, and they are not going to.
Well, we did almost end the game. Remember?
As Peanut shows himself, he does have a control ward down, and they see that none of Gen.G are at this area. They're setting up for a play. Ruler goes forward. Canyon looks to get the knock-up. He does find it. There is the chain as well. As Peanut might be caught out of position. He has a GA. But now it's in such an awkward spot. He tries to get himself out of there, and he survives. He's dodging the needlework. He finds the heal. As Canyon might be traded for this one. Delight goes in, looks for the angle, but they've managed to take 2. And now Gen.G, they move themselves forward. Viper's still alive. The Emperor's Divide doing a fair bit of damage. But it's 1 Ziggs and an Ambessa against the wall, and Ruler is flashing on top of Zeus. Gen.G, I mean, they haven't managed to do that thing we were saying, but they may just take the Nexus down instead.
All it took was a single pick onto Peanut. This late into the game, the death time is so long. Viper alone, I don't think he has enough to hold the line.
Let's see what he can do. He's got that health bar back up yet again.
They can't let him approach.
There are no minions. As Mega Inferno Bomb deals with that wave, but he needs another one for the next. Zeus is doing such a good job as they look to take down the Nexus. Starts the Nexus is now exposed. Zeus, he finds one, and there it is! Gen.G will reach match point in the knockout stage for our first best of
range. Maybe not that she. Okay, they're gonna. Okay, so the only reason why it surprises me a little bit is because while Kaza definitely has poke, especially if you go for the hybrid build, thanks to her W, she wants to threaten backlines.
Yeah.
Of Zeka making sure that he held on to that summoner spell. Peanut could be in trouble though, as you can see, only level 5 for the Trundle. He'll have to flash if he wants to get out, and he does so. Canyon doesn't necessarily need to, and he decides to double back. Viper in a lot of trouble as the Arcane Storm doing so much work. Duro gets flashed on though as Viper looks for the angle. He doesn't get stunned up by the Cosmic Binding, and in the meantime, HLE also pushing them out on the other side as Duro going for some funny business, and Delight throws up the Gen.G emote.
Just tuning in, and you're like, what? Why?
Yeah.
Why are we only on game 2?
Isn't this game 4? This doesn't make sense.
It's not, and it's because of that man, and he's already sitting on the gold lead.
Yeah, Canyon going for another drive, though. Let's see. The suppression does come on through as Canyon holds Peanut in place, but subjugation is very powerful. Chovy in so much trouble, but he keeps himself alive. Delight tries to get out, and Ruler with the ulti is going to take him down. It's a double for the Kaiser as Gen.G. I don't know how they're doing it, but they're winning the team fights.
A lot of ultis unavailable for HLE, but they still try to contest the objective. Zeka looking for the extended trade. His ulti's coming up very soon, but it's not up just yet.
Yeah, Zeka is able to at least push Keen away, but the grubs are being taken down by Canyon.
I love that while all of this is happening, Ken's like, yeah, I can take the grubs, it's fine.
Yeah.
I'm not bothered. Starts emoting in his face,
yeah.
And he is scarring us, obviously.
He's going to move over to help out with this one.
That's just gone.
Yeah, Keen spotted on the top side of the map, but it's not going to change anything as down goes the Dragon. That's going to
even for this champion.
Helps him to deal with the sign better as well. Obviously, Hollow Radiance' bot is he might be in trouble. There has no ult, and Peanut's there.
Speaking of the Scion, the knockup is not going to connect as Peanut throws down the ulti to start this one up, and without the ability to turn into a train, this Scion is just a matter of time before he does go down. That is kills evened out as even in the area. Delight and Viper moving on over as Ruler making his way in. He's spotted on Vision as he gets over here. Duro might be in a little bit of trouble as Zeka coming on in as well. Keen does get knocked up as Zeka discovers him from over the wall as Zeus gets on through as well. Duro takes the magical journey, but he doesn't have that for the rest of his teammates. It's Canyon Canyon that manages to take down the objective as Tempered Fate locks up a couple. The quickness gets into the backline as Delight that finds his former teammate. Ruler stays alive for so long, but Zeus says no. Flashes on top of him as at least Chovy's able to take out one, but it's HLE demonstrating that this team fight, this composition team fight so well.
That makes you move fast.
I know. I've
this?
also
Cosmic Drive?
blanked on it.
Sorry?
Cosmic
Cosmic Drive, yes.
There you go.
They've
Cosmic
got
Drive.
two
Thank you very
drivers in
much.
the game. It does make some sense.
Well, yeah, I'm just making sure. Oh, Peanut behind them.
Yeah, looking for Duro here as he does go for a very short magical journey, but the red carpet you were talking about, Vetty, is going to be laid out for him, and the Bard not going to be
A lot
picking
of towers left for them to secure. I mean, a single tower hasn't actually dropped yet 18 minutes in. So
we
maybe
actually,
I'm
whoever
speaking
gets
too
that,
soon.
Whoever gets that is going to get feats of strength as well. So this first Drake is, first turret.
Ruler has hit level 2 on the ultimate. Is playing towards sides, right? Find the ability.
Zeus moves out of the way of Canyon at least, but I don't know whether it's quite going to be enough to keep him alive. The Impale is going to be invested as he lasts a lot longer than we expected, but that is going to be still
Right
the
from that
first
ult.
turret as well.
And it was kind of Canyon just
Zeka will
watching
be able to
him.
get it. Upgrade some shoes.
So
Yeah, they were not impressed. They're just like, we have Hollow Radiance and like, we're grasp autoing you to death.
It's like that scene.
No, yeah.
That is...
There's the TP.
Yeah,
Gerald's there as well. Okay, I like
But
this.
I think they got what they wanted.
Just back off. It's
Yeah.
good.
I'll take that
That
one away.
ball wave is
and
quite
Zeus
awkward, though.
Well,
has
little
his
clap.
teleport, so now he has the advantage.
Are they going to start it themselves, though? Doesn't look like it.
Rift Herald is going to be driven into this outer turret. Still going to be able to get that charge. Let's see if Canyon can get himself out of here.
Oh!
Zeka finds the knock-up onto Canyon. That's the smite to be taken down. The quickness invested. And Canyon should be going down, although he does spend some time driving. Delight now, 50% as the equalizer comes on in. Tempered Fate finds absolutely nothing as Chovy flashes to get himself out of the way, but Zeus has a flash as well and a flamethrower to boot. As now Ruler turns up, but he's turned up to a fight that he is not winning today. And Peanut with a full health bar comes on in. Viper finds the kill, and this could just be an ace as Keen is still left standing, but the rest are on the floor.
Ruler is dropped, and HLE find a convincing fight once again.
And it's again the hubris from Gen G. I think what lead we've seen so far in the series, maybe?
Kind of.
It's feeling like that, but this is also the biggest engage from Delight.
There we go.
As Viper goes unstoppable,
Ruler
taking
can do, and it's again the risk that you run when you go for these dual carry compositions, especially against a Rumble. Once that ulti drops, your carry's just forced to retreat.
Yeah, or die.
Yeah.
Yeah, or that option. Yeah, that's the other one.
Zeus might be forced to do the same thing here as
He's just
quite
running.
able to catch up. He is just looking to run away, almost tries to dodge, but the Arcane Storm, it goes down, and Chovy is able to collect the kill onto the Rumble. So the answering Drake is going to come on through, but that is sole point for a Rumble. And I think you probably take that if you're
Good
HLE.
deal.
The Baron is just gone. Yep. And Canyon just going to be blocked here by Delight. Ruler comes on over with a boomerang blade, and they say thank you very much for this cute purple
Very
one.
real.
Yep, Zeka armed and ready. The Drake is going to spawn. HLE, let's see whether they fight for this one. No equalizer for it. It's going to be Zeka that needs to make that play if they want to make something happen. He looks for the flank angle as he gets the knock up onto Ruler, but he then just snaps back. Immediately, Zeus just holding them at bay, and man, that Harpoon did so much damage as Keen drives in, but it's Delight that takes down Duro to start the fight off. The bottom lane has been eviscerated, and Zeus, he goes into Zhonya's at exactly the right time, and Chovy overextends to try and kill him. They do take down the Rumble, but again, they're happy to pay that price to win this game.
Exceptional execution from HLE. Zeus almost able to get out of the fight, which would have made it a perfect ace, but they'll be happy with a 5-for-1 and a soul to boot.
And I was going to say, where has this HLE been this series? But they've been right here. These games have been so extraordinarily close until right now as they come alive. I think it was an outdrafting at the same time, but you have to say, as far as momentum is concerned, this is a huge deal to bring HLE back into this series and maybe queue up some silver scrapes. As I say that, though, it's 2 inhibitors going down. We're singing the praises.
Is that?
That's a big gap.
That's over 9,000, gentlemen.
I would say that is the lead. You're exactly right, as we're now sieging on this last inhibitor turret on the top side of the map. Equalizer goes down. Canyon trapped on the wrong side of it, but it is just going to mean that this turret falls. The Impale is going to come through Tempered Fate to try and hold Peanut in position, but he's not the priority target. The Arcane Storm goes in, but it hasn't expanded just yet. And HLE, we'll see whether they can clear this last one out. They're not quite able to on this push. They have another wave coming in. The exhaust comes down. There's a great pillar once more. As Zeka gets on over towards Chovy, finds a knockup and executes in the final from Zeka. Welcome to Zeka's Yone as it's a double, a full house. Zeka's full of Vipers, and they'll bring us to game 4 in this best of 5.
This is what we were hoping for. Hey, challenge. And there's that one we were talking about earlier. So this very much suggests the potential. Oh, that's the other one I talked about.
Oh my goodness, are they going to do it?
Lock it in, lock it in, lock it in. Come on, Zeus.
Oh, we got Camille! Let's go!
All right.
When I threw these
in 2021, in 2020.
Oh, Ruler might be in trouble. There's
Yeah.
6.
Zeus waited. There's a Hextech ultimatum, and Ruler, when asked the ultimatum, he says, "I got nothing." He flashes to try and get out of the way, but the flash from Viper and first blood for Smolder.
And then he TP'd the bot lane, which he probably should have based first.
I just imagine being Peanut pressing tab and thinking, like, Camille still has no items. Why said, hello, Camille, can we spend some gold, please? I mean,
As they start up the grubs, HLE in position to fight, as Zeus still hasn't based.
They can't contest this. Keen is going to be here.
No, but Ruler isn't. There's no
Walking down
TP
towards the
though.
bottom side is okay. Mom comes down, fair bit of damage comes on through. Unable to snipe that grub out of the way, so it should be 3 going over to Gen G as Peanut gets in there to try and steal. As kind of insane here as Keen can teleport back down if he would like to. Teleport in from Chovy. They are going to contest this. There's the Pulverize onto Delight. He's got the Eclipse to keep himself healthy. As Canyon comes in, there is the Smite from the Nidalee. Works very, very well. Meanwhile, fight towards the top side of the map as well as the all-out comes on through. Zeus does have the hook shot, just gets himself out of there.
And poke.
Well, it's right now just engaging onto this Rift Herald as Delight makes his way over. They know what's going on. Mom comes down, doesn't do much of anything at all, but man, that Achu doing a lot of work. Zeus moving his way in. That's going to be the steal on the Herald. Between Worlds comes through as well, but Chovy takes first blood in the fight, but now it's HLE's turn as the Keen Sante says not today, HLE.
With Keen being as strong as he is at this point in the game, it is a terrifying situation. We look back at the fight. The
No dash.
Dash
bounced.
over the wall.
Yeah.
Okay. Good, I need to keep track of
Important distinction.
Yeah, dashes or flashes over walls. It's very important. As the eye was picked up by Zeus, of all people. Should be him taking down a turret. He does manage to do that, but
he has, he's the Herald. He's not going to use it?
well, we'll see. Paranoia is going to come on through here, as Zeka could be in some trouble. The Q3 connected, and down he goes. Peanut in trouble as well as the Redemption. Going to barely be enough to keep him in this fight. In the meantime, the Rift Herald is getting involved, but they take the inner turret, and that's an even trade.
That can't happen. You can't die as Aurora with Flash Up when your Nocturne's ulting. Like, you
Not
need
in a position to contest.
That's the whole point. Where did the 2k gold lead come from?
Yeah, I was trying to figure that out as well.
Chovy's been farming like a madman.
But the game position right now isn't great for Hanwha Life, and they basically don't get a do-over. I say that as maybe they catch Chovy.
Yeah, Chovy caught out of position with that Solar Flare. He has to flash as Peanut gets in there. The fear is beautiful. Spiraling Despair doing a whole bunch of work, and Canyon takes down Peanut. It's a 1 for 2 so far as Ruler now just trying to kite this one out. Zeus in so much trouble. So many orbs peppered into the back of his skull as Viper and Zeka now trying to escape, and the damage is just too much. Keen chasing after them. The spear just barely misses, but they're holding them in place. Another spear flies through, and Keen just dashes on top of the dragon. Zeka gets torn apart, and Gen G.
For Hanwha Life, so many things ended up.
Stats really do back the man. There is a reason why this man is so feared on this champion, and the comp again just doesn't matter. Bends to his will.
Atlas,
Yes.
I know what we can do to save this, and I think you do too.
No. Well, okay, sure. Peanut, Spiraling Despair coming on through here. Yeah, I'll shave it off. If they win,
I'm with you, brother. Let's go.
Together.
Silver screen.
Canyon, they haven't done a lot of damage to this Drake just yet. Duro waiting on the side. There is Mom coming down, doing a fair bit of damage. As Viper does have those stacks, it is going to be the Hextech Soul though. As now, can they actually stay alive in this fight? As Canyon, down to about 50%, dash cannons forward. And Gen G, they will just back away.
They had to commit. I think you have to commit there. Try to play for the fight. Try to turn it into something more, because now you're just playing into Hextech Soul Poke.
Duro's positioning was phenomenal. He stayed behind the Dragon Pit to prevent Zeus from gaining any angle onto the back line. Gen.G played around their front line beautifully, walked away with the soul without losing a single member, and converted into 2 towers as well. This game feels done and dusted. HLE need a mirror.
Just dead.
I think it is.
As well, actually, only down to about 50%
Peanuts.
more now. Oh my god! That damage is revolting. As Zeka caught out yet again, Keen is in amongst it. Redemption not going to quite be enough here as Zeus gets pulled out with the all-out from Keen, but he flashes to try and get away. The Guardian Angel is going to be there, but Delight just explodes with that spiraling despair. Ruler is on a rampage now as he takes down Zeus, and the Baron should be free for Gen.G now.
No remorse as Gen.G pick apart HLE once again. Keen delivers Zeus to the rest of his team, serves him on a silver platter as they secure themselves.
Every single time. But he can just do that. He retains 100% kill participation, by the way.
Like the collapse, just as you're saying, Vedi, it takes too long.
Well,
The
even with
engage
Peanut
just
here, he doesn't
isn't
look
there.
scared. Chovy has an army of siege minions as well. Zeus wants to continue fighting here, but he just doesn't really have an inroad. They have to force a fight. They have to make something happen. But it's instead Duro that tries to go for it. The ulti out from Chovy is looking to try and kill him. Redemption comes down as he's dodging all of this poke. Redemption for the snipe, but he's able to walk his way out. But it doesn't really matter, does it, guys? Because there are 2 inhibitors now lying on the floor. Now we're going to go for it. Into the backline goes Peanut. He's headbutted back and just exploded. Viper doing a fair bit of work here, though. Is Keen going to be the first one to be taken down? Ruler, can he be the hero? As it's Viper gets down so low, almost in range. It's Chovy. Destroys Delight, and whenever they walk forward, oh my goodness, Eka will finally find something here in this game, but there is a Keen Sante still standing, and I don't know whether Zeus is going to be enough to take him down, and he isn't.
If it was
Ruler now returns to the Rift, and that should be the go button for Gen.G to start off this objective.
Yeah, great fear there on to Zeka as he's almost just popped like a balloon. What the heck was that? Almost just one shot by Chovy alone. Look at the poke damage. Duro snipes him with the redemption, and the all-out comes through from the Keen Sante. He wants to go to the semi-finals, and he wants to go there right now. It's Zeus that's able to finally put him down, but the rest of Gen.G catch up, and it's Ruler with the double kill to send HLE home. Gen.G once again book a ticket to the semi-finals, and they're looking to continue their extraordinary run here at 2025 Worlds. And Chovy, he'll just take a little bit of a sip to
the team around him, and then you have the follow-up from the Taliyah and the Rumble if you want it. CFO now looking towards their support. That counter pick for Kaiwing, it's the Nami. So before this year, if Kaiwing had ever played Nami, I would have said, nah, man, that's a loss. It's a free L. But from this year on, he is
Nami. That's what we're moving towards.
I mean, this Worlds has a lot of symmetry with 2017 Worlds. You know, you have T1.
Don't tell me that. That was a terrible.
It was because Ardent Sensors. We see Scuttlecraft bite Peter, putting the Unbreakable down. It's going to get knocked up. Almost falls, but dashes away. Junja dashes in with the audacious charge, manages to pick up the kill, able to survive as well. But Dogdam dashing forward for it. Honkyu's going to have to flash the wall, but Kaz is on the chase. The Wukong finds the kill in the jungle. 2-1 KT. Bottom River Skirmish, so does still have his flash, has his TP. But for the moment, KT in a really strong spot in this early game, about 1,000 gold ahead. First Drake at 6 minutes, stacking those up. And we talked about one item spike fight because of the push up towards that top side. They will force Junja back. Weaver's Wall coming out. Seismic Shove, Crescent Guard from Junja as he looks for the re-engage. Second Grub secured there. It's CFO that get it. The fight continues as BDD looks for some damage from the side between worlds. Goes Honkyu, dives onto the backline, but the Cyclone already takes down one. Doggo so late to this battle. Kaz looking for that flash across the wall and dashes to the Grubs. Call to the Forge God from Driver. Lands the knock up onto 2, but he's so low. Gets another double knock. Unbreakable is not enough to stop Driver, and Honkyu forcing another kill in. Dogdan starts to turn onto Doggo, flashes across the Aqua Prism. BDD still so healthy. Honkyu trying to dissuade the enemy mid from getting on towards his backline. Kaz going in. Driver escapes. Doggo does 2. Kaiwing does 2, and somehow Honkyu gets his way away. Dogdan still looking for more. Honkyu dodges away, and in the end, a 1-for-1 exchange.
Yeah, 1-for-1, but the problem is they're losing a lot. So tough to work your way in.
Basically no flashes on either side as well. There's 3 available in the game. Perfect, Peter, and Junja, and Honkyu. As the Drake taken by Kuz. And CFO, it's spectator sport at the moment as the flash comes in with the Winter's Bite. Junja with a Crescent Guard, but look at the damage coming out from KT right now. They'll find two. Ginger force low. CFO trying to respond, but Doggo and Kaiwing are forced away.
They're just going to get the tower.
And I think that's where CFO needed to pull the trigger faster. Now it's Driver who might get caught.
A little bit, uses the Bella's breath, gets the knock up onto the Braum. Aqua Prison coming across, Unbreakable down, Doggo Valkyrieing in as Driver's forced to flash away, and KT with a TP are gonna have a 5v5 in a second. Tidal Wave out, Castling that second Cyclone lands it, Doggo caught out first, the equalize on the backline, Nami has to flash away, BDD finds him! With an unraveled Earth through Hongju, trying to get in to the backline to get damage on Peter. He'll find one, but he's burnt where he stand. Roast rabbit for dinner for Perfect as KT once again come out on top in the fight.
Yeah, KT come out on top again. This time CFO tried to really punish Peter there, but as he got bubbled, he throws up the wall. Doggo Valks in, and they immediately turn to punish him.
But no ultimate right now as KT are going to fight around this Drake. It's a bit of a flank from BDD. The Weaver's Wall could split the team. Ginger looking for the poke. Driver going in. Bellows breath popped. There's the poke from CFO landing a little bit more. Hongju, though, gets the weirding onto Perfect. BDD on that flank position coming in through the bot side. The knockback with the blast cone pushes Hongju into the face of BDD. The Drake down to 1,000, secured by Ginger. Goes in with the Crescent Guard, heals up with the Sundered Sky, flashes away and somehow survives. Driver knocked back with the seismic shove. He'll pay for it with his life. The equalizer on the back line, though, is going to find another Peter looking for more with the Winter's Bite. And the stun on Hongju allows Dokdam to get his second.
The ultimate cooldown was up ever so slightly faster for CFO, but as KT's tick down, CFO fall down with them.
Yeah, I mean, KT, I think, just slow played that so well because they were barely missing the ultimates from Perfect and Kaz. So they didn't want to hard commit to a fight prior to that. A great smite steal from Junja does save that from being a complete disaster.
Chase under the tower. Doggo falls first. The turret falling low. Dokdam was taken out by the tower with Doggo's assistance, but KT in the end do find
the map. Perfect can probably just, I think the wave's gone, so it's just a nothing burger.
Yeah, I mean, it's really to actually knock down this Braum.
You also just don't have the range.
Yeah.
Like, you've got a Tidal Wave and a Call of the Forge God and an Unbreakable on the other side, which is going to eat up those.
Try and find these picks. Now, it's not easy, but definitely this is a team that will find them, but I think they're getting caught.
Man, this frontline Braum, I'm loving it. Glacial Fisher onto 2. The Oysters are falling as KT collapse. Driver stunned up, put another pearl on the necklace. KT as 2 more Oysters fall.
And Peter just blast cones himself in there. He's saying, we don't have a gauge. We don't have a gauge. Are you seeing this game? Peter is just blind CD. And this time doesn't have the flash, but he has got no problems at all. My man knows his role. They are snowballing. He's just going to throw himself in your face. And if you don't respond, you're just going to get wiped.
This was the first time Peter got to fly to the country, and he was like, what if I do that in-game as well? That would be perfect.
Third Drake will go over to KT. CFO just trying to get every bit of gold they can in their pockets before the Baron spawn in 2 minutes' time.
Yeah, and KT even denying that push in the
as
top.
well, and CFO just forced away from defending their own objectives, their own towers. Hongyu, looking for the weirding, won't find too much more out of it as Peter's able to retreat. The tier 2 falls for KT.
Yeah, small little.
Although he is at 3 items, doesn't have that huge crit chance, doesn't have a huge amount of damage as they find the pick him onto Peter. Tidal Wave down. Peter's going to stand beside his teammate, but Hongju puts him in his place. CFO find the pick. TP coming out from Perfect. Hongju looking for a little bit more. Cyclone from Kuz just to try and distract and dissuade the engage from CFO, but a great knockback onto Ginger means that Kuz goes on a rampage. Driver now on the retreat with the rest of the Oysters, but KT are not letting them escape easily. Doggo onto Dokdam! 80 for 80 and Hongyu adds another onto that receipt. It's 2 so far. Driver retreats. KT still looking for more as Kaz and BDD step forward, but do they have the damage? Do they have the gap?
But KT, they started the dragon.
Break begun by KT. CFO walking into fog of war, and war it shall be. Equalizer on the backline. Driver stepping forward. Temtate secured the soul for KT, but is the fight going in their favor? A great flame spitter from Perfect with that Seekers goes golden, but then goes pop. CFO find one. The dive in from Kaz onto Driver. They'll get one in response. Ginger forced away. A weirding from Hongju, but BDD's on the flank. As he looks for the damage, can't quite find it with that threaded volley. CFO being shepherded down towards this bottom side. Ginger looking for the engage. Doggo dived on, pops the barrier, but then it's put in the dirt. The dive as well from BDD. KT split the fight, find 5 in the end.
KT.
But perhaps you can find some sort of first aid to get you back in the game.
I feel like that was the last.
Down. towers falling now for KT, and it feels like that base is surely going to follow soon.
He just dropped the equalizer to force them off the tower and crack the base.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the play. Just try and force CFO back. They don't have the Weaver's Wall quite yet to sync up with it. Maybe they want to wait for the next wave, but like that's 30 seconds, and oh, here we go.
Diving from Ginger, flash caught to the fourth drop from Driver, get the knock up! Oh, Driver, that was gorgeous, but on the back line! Perfect, and Kaz dive in with the Cyclone, they find 2 for it. CFO pulled the trigger, but KT's reaction was absolutely sublime. They'll wipe away CFO. Hongq can only stand and watch as K2 push in for the win.
Blink and you'll miss it. KT jump onto the back line, and they immediately turn towards the Nexus.
Hongq is hopping around, but there's not really much he can do in the face of 4 from KT. Kaz gives him a love tap as the Nexus falls, and KT go 1-0 up in this quarterfinal.
It's a great start here for KT. First win on the
break as well on the Renekton means I don't think you're going to get a huge amount of value from the Killer Instinct on the Kaza. I would have probably preferred a bit more of a front-to-back team fighter than this Kaza, but Nautilus actually going to be the pick in the end.
Yeah, I mean, it's just kind of more standard. That is kind of the LCK style, even if some of these enchanters
a little bit more cautious, especially with Peter walking his way up.
He's on the way. Can Hongq avoid it? Peter, well, does he just want to invest the flash? BDD's so low!
Just gonna look for the flash hook underneath the tower, but it's not gonna be enough damage from Hongq. Still able to flash away. Summoners exchanged between the Nort and the Azir.
Nice roam from Peter.
He uses the heal for him as well. Now BDD's gonna flash just to kill Kaiwing. Flash heal wasn't enough.
For the Trundle, I mean, Peter's already in position to try to jump on him.
Doctam just hit 6 as well. Dredgeline in from Peter. Ginger here, look to see if he can find a pillar, but you don't really want to take this fight. You're at a disadvantage in terms of ultimates, and KT will just secure their first Drake again, around that 7 minutes.
He is. I mean, this is his first time, flying. If you haven't watched some of his interviews, do yourself a favor, go watch some. He is just a treat.
Great hook again onto Ginger. Is going to put the subjugate down. Flash forward from Perfect. Death charge onto Hongq as well. But Ginger already put in the dirt. The Troll King is down. Rest trying to collapse, but CFO forced away. Should be 3 grubs to KT. No smite for CFO. Doggo's moving across, but actually looks like KT are happy enough just taking the 2. They'll let this grub reset. Kaz can just wait around. It's like, okay, my smite's going to come back up in a couple of seconds' time. KT will get the 3rd.
Yeah, the longer CFO contest here, the more they're losing on that bottom side. That's a wave that's completely gone, and Junja has just had 0 chance to have an impact in this game. He's been something that could be exploitable. 45 seconds until the Dragon. You could end up looking for him, especially with someone like Kaiwing. But there we go!
Depth charge! They get the knock-up. The quickness comes out, but it's not in time. Peter claims the kill.
Even further in his favor with that first item already completed. It is still KT winning.
And his feet. 12 minutes in. Oh, Ginger. He starts up the red. There's the hook, and Ginger in the jungle sent to an early grave. A 4th for KT. They rule.
Exactly. He's just going to go right down. He's going to get stopped. You just flag it.
Flag comes out. Peter will have another hook. He's just standing there. He's like, what are you going to do, Hongq? Depth charge down. They'll look for the engage, a Cataclysm alongside BD.
Because Junja's then behind, and it makes it so difficult for CFO to actually answer for any of these plays because they are always at a man disadvantage.
And who is it for KT that's getting fed? For so long, I think people will have looked at BDD as one of the greats, but not quite. Perhaps at this Worlds, he can really take that step to the upper echelons.
Yeah, the only man on this team who's been to that semi-final, hoping to take the rest of them there, and the organization for the first time, but it's Rest who needs to get out of here.
Exhausted there for a second. Spell Shield coming out from Doctam, and Tofo Q3 going wide, but this is just going to be another tower for KT. They know they can force Rest away, take the turret, their 2nd of the game, and CFO have been able to stop the perfect game from happening by taking a tower of their own, but apart from that...
it is going to be an uphill battle, to say the very least.
Yeah, and you already highlighted the wave clear, and it's a Rift Herald now as well, so you were already losing on the map, now you doubly lose on the map, but Perfect might lose this.
Pillar coming out, there's a Killer Instinct as well, with the quickness, everything invested, Perfect falls the shutdown to Doggo. A pick for
CFO to answer back because of that reset.
It's the same setup again. Rest is on his way across on the hunt, popped by Doctam as they look for the chase. Depth charge onto Hongq, Everett survived, dodged by the Cataclysm. Hongq not in the redemption in time. CFO lose their mid laner and now might lose the rest as they get chased down by KT. Junja on the flank, a 4v4 begins to erupt. It's Perfect, not TPing down yet. The redemption for KT will top them up, and in the end, they just back away.
CFO are asking, why are KT better? And it's just cuz.
He's holding the flag and drag. He's ready to punish at a moment's notice. Perfect reaction time there to immune that Azir ultimate. They win out in the 4v4
stage.
Yeah, I mean, some of the teams that weren't giving them respect have already been sent home. Peter's looking for another play.
Depth charge down onto Junja. The pillar does not really going to stop anyone getting in, but a good quickness out from Kaiwing distracts the rest of KT. Kaiwing trying to dash back, but he's taken out by Docdam. One down so far. KT can advance. Oh, a great hook again! Peter, what are you? He constantly finds the picks, and now CFO picked apart by this perfect Nautilus. Perfect diving in for a Ruthless Predator. The Rift Herald charge coming down. Will they look for a tier 3? Kaz begins to disengage, but they'll just get the charge in, and then Peter should be able to dredge line his way away.
And they can even go right back to the Otacon that's about to spawn here if they really want to put that pressure on. They're going to take away the jungle camps. They get the charge on another tower. It's 6k up, and yeah, they're just going to do Otacon on spawn again, because why not? Honkyu has no teleport, and he's still dead.
He goes for it again. Rest steps in front of the bullet for Doggo. The knock back onto Peter, though, now slammed into the wall, and the rest of KT unable to respond in time. Doggo diving onto the backline, and Killer Instinct flashes the barrier! Doggo gets the shutdown! Cards perfect, and BDD still alive. Not much mana on BDD, though. They'll still be able to kill off Kaiwing. Honku and Junja need to do it all, but Honku doesn't have the damage. The Otacon has been begun by KT. CFO still looking for it. They have the Emperor's Divide if they can find a way into this fight, but Honkyu goes in, BDD pops a stopwatch, Otacon secured, Kaiwing with a good quickness finds 2 with a knock-up, but CFO now need to disengage. All their engage tools have been used. Kaz diving onto that backline. Kaz taken out by Doggo. Perfect looking for it as well. But this dog who let him out, Perfect, shows him where the cage is at. Puts him back to the fountain. Only Honkyu left alive. As Perfect, BDD, Docdam and Peter collapsed. It's an ace for KT. There's no...
Nautilus on the other side, it's Honkyu and Kaiwing trying to find this flanking angle, but they use the redemption for the reset and then just send Kaz in.
Docdam. Doggo the only one really with 2 items that matter for CFO as they try and step into the darkness, into that fog of war. The dragon resets, Rest using his health bar to try and gain purchase in the river right now, but KT keeping them at arm's length. Rest still stepping forward. The Drake how low, 7k. Kaiwing flashes for BDD, lands the quickness and the grand entrance, but with a flash away from BDD, Perfect dives in, and the chase goes in from Kaz. Cataclysm onto the backline, the Emperor's Divide from Honkyu. Everyone from KT falling below half HP, but then now with the redemption, they are topped up to full. For a moment, CFO looked like they may have found the fight, but the wallets are too damn heavy. KT find the 5-0 ace and will walk it down mid.
Yeah, CFO posed the question, but BDD had the answer as he has every single time this game. 100% KP for BDD, 6-0 and 15 on the Orianna as they're looking for one of the fastest games at Worlds.
Sub 25 minute, the prize for them. This roller coaster keeps on ratcheting up. KT in dominant fashion are gonna make it 2-0. The scoreline looks at BDD, but the hearts were won by Peter. KT 1 game away from the promised land.
Again.
Easy comp to pilot.
Yeah.
That being said, if you are first to the objective as KT, trying to walk in through Ziggs poke and Zoe poke is going to be an absolute nightmare. And CFO at the end of the day kind of just went with like a couple meatballs and some scaling carries. He's like, we're winning a little bit too hard, buddy. The ward.
Well, Kaiwing has to kill the ward, so he's delayed at getting to the mid lane. Honkyu has to flash away with Peter, but collapsing. Kaza started up the grubs and picked up one of them so far. When he took that Chem Drake earlier on. Junja trying to steal away one of these if he can, but he's at a numbers disadvantage right now.
But you still have that TP on Docdam, who's just gone for the reset as well, so potentially going to TP up to this fight. This is risky for a CFO.
Sleep onto Honkyu. BDD doesn't have a huge amount of mana. Grubs begun again by Kaz. The flash! Headbutt pulverize! Oh, Peter, take a medal, take a prize, impaled under the tower. But he takes the enemy mid laner down with him. Rest trying to come in from the side. He's going to get slept as well. A perfect nap for KT to collapse as Docdam takes the kill. Kaiwing chased out, make it 3. KT secure the feats of warfare.
KT
We have the Ziggs, who's going to be TPing in, adding the extra man, and just beautiful play there from Peter. Uses the W taxi and then Q flash forward out of that, sets him up for first blood. Does lose his life, but Docdam is there. They have the extra member. They get the feats of warfare, and Honkyu's just caught snoozing. He is taken down from long range. Yeah, it is really looking tough already as Kaiwing gonna get spotted and Peter's looking.
The sleep again. Hongq's gonna have nightmares. Collapse from KT. And BDD claims his second.
The best Zoe in the world and answer to this Caitlyn. And it has been just excelling throughout the entire game.
And we've talked about it so often for CFO. If Junja and Hongq can be on the same page, they can do work, but KD have shut them down perfectly. Dogdam flashes away, the headshot's not enough! The Peacemaker doesn't find its mark. Junja flashes finally! Finds the shutdown. Kaz now on the back foot. Ults away with that Heartbreaker. A magical journey for Junja onto Peter, but a double blast cone will get them to safety. As Junja might try and collapse on BDD. Ishtar's impact in, catches Peter, slams him into the wall. The rest of CFO trying to collapse, but there's the trample stun, a good impale through the wall. Kaz able to flash away, asleep onto that Skarner. Paddlestar just short of connecting. Spiraling despair on BDD, Peter falling low. Hongq finds the kill, BDD still dashing forward with a portal jump. KT set up vision around the Drake, will be soul point for them, and an Infernal Soul with Ziggs and Zoe is not something you want to give over easily. Already down to 4K. Peter acting as a bouncer, Rest trying to get in, Junja going forward as well, but a good pulverize from Peter. The Drake stopped with a Temper Fate, the Sleepy Trouble Bubble not going to hit on Doggo. The smite from Junja finds it, and Impale as well. Spiraling despair for KT is perfect. Forced to flash away. CFO find the fight, find two. Rest dives onto the backline, gets a double knock. Junja still looking for the chase. A Satchel charge out into the flash. Edge of Ishtar won't go any further with that Ishtar's impact. An ace in the hole won't be enough, but Rest still on the chase onto BDD. Forces him back underneath his tower.
KT's poke is exceptional.
Look around.
No poke lands, and Rest want to keep this going.
He slept. Satchel Charge's going to knock him back. Decimating Smash there as well. Rest used the tunnel. He flashes back in, and Rest just slices them where they stand. He'll pay for it with his life. In the end, CFO turn their eyes towards the Herald.
Exactly. They're going to be able to use that pressure to go over towards the Herald. I mean, this is the other side of this style of composition. It is so...
As you would like.
But for me, it's less about the gold, it's about the map control.
Sure.
Because that's really what CFO need.
Any like point and click. You're not paired with a Syndra and Annie and Ari, anything like that. So it's just everything is, does your poke land?
Oh my god! Oh my god, the Mega Inferno Bomb of Doom, and Junja overstepping Peter with a great double pulverize onto the backline, and everything hits this time. Rest tries to dive in, but is put to sleep, and all he'll see are nightmares of KT. A triple in the end for Dogdam, another sleep landing, and the chase comes out from Perfect and from Dogdam! Hongq is not done yet. Kaz will chase him down. A Heartbreaker, a stake through the heart of CFO as KT win out the fight.
It's a taster of what CFO could have. Getting out of this roster is insane right now.
I mean, we just got to see what the two different fights look like. The ability, he's looking like he's got an aimbot. He's just point and click.
Peter caught with a Tempered Fate. And that cow might be going golden, but he is going to get skewered by CFO. The Otacon next. TP's coming out as CFO try to up the tempo. TP out from Perfect as well as KT are going to call for a fight of their own.
You've got to wait for BDD. This wall could be devastating, but he's so far away. The ultimates are flying, but Otacon is going down.
Hongq already down to half HP. Perfect with the Decimating Smash doesn't land it. The Otacon should be secured here for CFO. They get it. The sleep lands, but only onto Rest. Will KT continue to chase, or will they accept that this fight is not for them?
Fantastic play from CFO. They get the pick and they just force their hand, immediately start the Otacon, rush it down. Don't allow KT to get set up. KT's comp is so weak when they're late to the fight.
And this is the scrappiness we were talking about for CFO. They don't want to give up the area. Dragon's there.
Oh, the damage onto Hongq, spiraling despair though, into the net! And down goes BDD. Kaz on the backline gets the reset. He possesses that way, and the chase continues. Dives across the wall. Spectral Maw doesn't get the stun. Junja trying to retreat. Dogdam looking for that satchel. Another stun's going to land. And Rest has the flank. Dogger's there as well. Junja falls. And now the Skarner taken away by Kaz. Rest trying to get in, locked against the wall. And Kaiwing and Doggo leave him for the KT Wolves. They'll get the kills. They'll clean it out. And will they turn their eyes towards the Drake? They'll do that and take mid.
CFO tried to salvage the play with Doggo and Rest running as fast as they could. But it's KT KT, who are pouncing on Junja and finding the kills they need to turn the play back.
I mean, it feels like it was just 2 or 3 minutes ago that we were talking about Cuz being down 1.3 gold. He got 7 kills in a row, and now is up nearly lack of consistent damage. Doesn't feel like they have that anymore.
Honkyu's
The
in there,
timing!
Decimating Smash against the knockup. They don't kill the tower. Mega Inferno will go down as well, as Honkyu takes a drive to his demise, and now KT can look for more. BDD with a paddle start.
Carry down.
And it was unnecessary. You didn't need to take that ride.
Who can control vision? And right now, it's been KT with the pushing waves, and it's them getting the much easier setup.
BDD pushing in this top side. Sent to a coffin. The CFO will use this time to push in the mid lane, though. Take a tower of their own. Can chase forward a little bit further. Do have Cannon Minion here. Ace in the hole onto Dogtown. Now they retreat because KT are collapsing.
But you still have BDD pushing to that bottom side, so CFO, they're not able to get the tier 2. It would be BDD who's able to pick up that objective, but CFO
Flash from Junja, Impale doesn't connect, but the damage onto Cuz will stick. Meanwhile, on the backline, Doggo has to retreat. Kaiwing doing the same, perfect still, just standing as a meat wall in front of CFO. Junja's gonna fall first, BDD gets Honkyu, and now KT can smell their victory.
BDD arrives and CFO dies. The Baron is next on the table here. They are crushing this fight. CFO got picked off in the side lane, tried to force their hand, but KT make the collapse happen. And not only do they get that, they got the tier
hoping they can burst it down. They should be able to do so, as Rest was there. But KT...
hero steal.
Rest is in the top lane, pushing in for that tier 2, does have the teleport and will use it. The Drake down to 9,000, BDD looking to see if he can find a sleepy trouble bubble. Lands it onto Rest, he can't join the fight. Tempered Fate on the backline, Paddle Star just short. Dragon down to 4k as KT look for the soul and knock back onto Junja. And again, it's Peter who keeps the enemy jungler at bay. Rest dives in, but the rest of his team are distracted by the cow. Now the chase in with an unstoppable onslaught. And if that's not a name for how KT have played this series, I don't know what is. Unstoppable from KT as they march down CFO and look for the semis.
No one expected KC to be one of the teams that could push themselves forward, but at semi-finals in their eyes, their curses may be damned in this position.
For the first time ever, KT looked ahead to the World Semifinals.
And with only Kaiwing left to watch, CFO will be eliminated. A valiant stand from them. A valiant stand for the LCP, but today is KT's day. Kaiwing can do nothing but watch as KT take the Nexus towers. The Nexus next, the KT coaster keeps on climbing. For the first time in history, KT are going to...
A lot more safety for the Varus.
G2 right now, they're just looking for a little bit more engage, and there was that rel that we were talking about. Not only is it a huge comfort pick for Labrov, but it synergizes nicely with the composition. And G2 gone for a very traditional front-to-back style of composition, whereas top esports have a little bit more dive, and Besser Wukong comes through from Han Summer. Jackula goes for a bunch of fights, then he goes back and he TPs early, coming back to lane, and he keeps up the pressure. He's built up a very nice lead in the bot lane 2 versus 2, and the pressure he has resulted...
Broken Blade, nice timing on the level 6. Debating
Does mean that we have the possibilities for contesting at least a couple of them.
One grub already down. Kanavi, though, uses his smite, so may opt to just back away. Caps has access to the TP shortly, but is slightly delayed. Cream also resetting, so it seems like neither side wants to full-on fist fight. Just hoping that they can move in, leverage their pressure, rather than needing to go all in.
G2 have to be very careful. Burst damage from Akali right now is huge. Akali plus Wukong.
Cream on the way in, Unbreakable coming in for Hong. Skewmon going a little bit wide, and Winds become Lightning, and G2 pulling back as a 4-stack. That's 1-to-1 in terms of overall grubs. TES will grab the 2 grub buff. G2 again didn't want to push their luck. Have to be so careful fighting into that Braum, fighting into that level 6.
Look at these lane assignments from top esports. They've got 369. Oh, getting engaged on.
Immediate ulti. Public execution not going to take 369 out to safety. The ignite ticking down, but he's got more than enough shielding just to walk away. Ulti for ulti, but they get the flash from 369. Traded for Labrov's as TES. See an opportunity bot side. G2 stepping too far forward. Q flash from Hong goes completely wide, but it doesn't matter. The concussive blows connecting in the end, and it's first blood for Jackie Love.
G2 trying to find...
Where he just beat like
He got
400
He got flogged, yeah. That's rough.
That was some good punches there from 369. Chunks caps down below 50% and earns the objective pretty effortless.
Feels like a repeat of what we saw in the first game of Swiss. Top Esports finding these early leads, G2 not really having many options to trade back elsewhere on the map, and Top Esports are playing with these advantages very, very well. They've accrued a 1k gold lead, they have full control over the early objectives. They're trying to make a play on Ejaculate, but he's not afraid of anything.
Entering strike goes wide, but the ulti from Bars does not. Immediate TP in. LeBron about to get one shot. Ejaculate happy to have a second kill. Hung gonna make sure he donates. No, they donated to Cream, who contributed. Builds that individual lane advantage, and the rest of the team now coming home to reap the rewards. Caps and the rest of G2 want to cover. They do not want to concede this tower. LeBron ghosting in. Riding in on a steel horse, ulti available, no flash, but he might not need it. Hung gonna be sacrificed. TES sticking around a bit too long on the top side, and Caps happy to reap the rewards.
All of the supports are the party favors that you were mentioning. Willing to donate, the sacrifice, as you say, Knavi.
Knavi kicking things off with the Cyclone. Cream waiting behind, still has access to the perfect execution, excuse me. No, on cooldown from the previous play. Portabelt also used, but the public execution taking out Lebrov. And it's not just the mid laners taking the kills. It's a bit different, but this control, the advantages they built in lanes, transitioning it now into the Herald, TES dominating game one. All in though, Caps! No time for redemption! Cream!
Oriana, and now the side lanes, I mean, just look at the minimap, fully in control for Top Esports.
Cream having a hell of a time.
And G2, they have to group and force.
G2 ignoring topside, letting that wave be deleted because they know they need to defend mid lane. Rift Herald, Knavi mounted up. Looking for a knock-up, unbreakable for a brief moment. Now moving into the backside, that's the Cyclone. Skewmon gets out the Crescent Guard to mitigate some of the damage, but he's still locked down by Jackie Love. Moving into the circle briefly as Hung does his best to body block. All in from G2. The public execution brings 369 right into G2's backline, and they start to fall. TES make it look effortless. Cream pulled back, the shockwave, Caps a moment. He turns it back for G2 and takes two in return.
Though, because after that fight,
Shockwave in just a few seconds. G2 know they have an angle to turn it. It's a brief window of opportunity. They managed to take away the Drake. Now they're keeping the fight going though. Excellent ulti again, catching out Skewmon. He's been locked down, he'll be sacrificed. TES get one on the exit kills, but G2 slow.
The assistance of Hong. They keep G2 at arm's length, but they don't yet start the objective. They want to get the tower, and this will go uncontested.
G2 losing more and more control over the bottom side. Passive. AK getting lower. Knavi looking for the flank. G2 have no idea. They want to burn this down. They see the TP now. They realize they may have overstepped, but the Otacon's been leashed. TES won the fight. Double redemption, but they're grouping for the Cyclone. Crescent Guard denies it for a brief moment, but all of G2 have to run because once again, and it's 369 and Cream back to back. The triple kill for the Akali. G2 are helpless in the face of this Top Esports dive.
He's rolling all night. This Ambessa is insane. He's cutting them down. The teleport ward is perfectly placed, and G2 have been decimated.
Shepherded into a choke point. Top Esports collapse like wolves and tear G2 Caps.
Caps wants to clear the wave, I guess. Buys a brief moment with the Zanya to contemplate his failures because he will not get any kills.
He clears out the wave, but questionable play there as the Otacon is secured by Top Esports. A 7k gold lead, and just beautiful team fighting from this Top Esports squad. The fact that G2 had no recourse, no escape as they get picked apart.
On an early game from TES that was so commanding, that was so confident, that was already a Hail Mary for G2. And frankly, at this point, Hail Marys are all they have left.
I mean,
with Wukong and Ambessa, the turn is crazy threatening. 369 though, he's still out on the map.
Q flash coming into the shattering strike. Skewmon gonna follow up. Public execution gets a little bit of space for 369 as he flashes out. The Drake Hound step, but the shockwave brings him right back. Hung on the way in to try to protect his top laner, blocking so much damage with the Unbreakable. And now it's Cream in the Shroud. 5 members. The death ball of G2 as Cream dashes right back out, and Knavi goes in. TES diving, dodging, cutting through G2, and now it's Broken Blade to try to turn it back. He's gone all out, but it might be too late. Skewmon staying living for a brief moment. Redemption now coming in. The extra healing from Thunder Sky will not do a damn thing. Broken Blade down, an ace for TES.
Absolutely beautiful from Top Esports once again. Cream went in a little bit too eager. He was isolated from his team, but the moment that Knavi finds the angle onto the backline, G2 just fall apart.
Yeah, this is one way to start a fight. Just keep on split pushing as the only one left applying pressure. 369 uses his ult, his flash, his dashes, Still gets locked
out
back.
by Cream.
And remember, for both of these teams, there are questions about how they will respond to pressure. For now, Cream needs to worry about responding to the Zen, though, as he dodges through, managing to get away from the Shockwave. Redemption going in. He will dash through with the perfect execution. Goes back in onto Caps. I don't think he needed to go back in.
Kanavi can.
That one wasn't it, but Cap's going to flash out the exhaust.
They're going to need a lot more.
Cream did get the Zanyas, though, so we'll have access to another stasis effect as Kanavi's just stepping forward to poke. Ulti from Jackie Love locking down Broken Blade. It's a split fight. Kanavi still stepping forward, not hesitating to do so much work. Shockwave only connecting on a 369, but it just does not stop him.
Oh my God.
Passive procs left and right, running down G2 Esports. A double kill for Jackie Love as these kills are donated to him so consistently. Flashes over the wall. He knows a dead body when he sees it, and G2 out of this game 1.
Cream was just the starter. The main dish of 369 had yet to arrive, and my goodness, did it blow G2 away in game 1.
G2 sent reeling TES. The dominance from Swiss was not a one-time thing. G2 sent back to the drawing board as TES run a victory lap around Summoner's Rift.
Someone going to play that has some safety.
You can see in the player cam, it feels like he's going through options, a face of confusion. Is this the right choice?
It's like, how do I live?
Lucian,
I don't like this.
full disclosure, this man has not gotten his international Lucian license. Very few people in the West have. Level 1 notoriously weak. Bard level 1 pretty dang strong. It's been hit a lot over the years with nerfs, but you have the passive, you have the Q. You can do some decent damage on a Jackie Love as Labrov just keeps landing these stuns, forces the flash out from Jackie Love.
Okay, there's my answer. I'm scared of the bottom lane because...
Guys, I love Lucian. Like that. What a great
Honestly,
pick.
yeah, great call. I was sorry, sir. I wasn't familiar with your game. I didn't know that Q would hit. That hitbox seems a little crazy, but we'll bring that up in a different series.
Yeah, who's issuing these licenses? G2, they get 3 sums for 1, and they send Jackie back to base. All he can buy is a refillable potion.
He doesn't have TP this time around. Hans was already forced back early on, level 2, level 3 in that game 1. G2 off to a much better start.
And Labrov is going to make it even worse.
This is so good because they did the level 1 and they had the vision. They knew that Kanavi is clearing up towards top side, so they could just straight proxy Jackie to level 1. You're going to stay level 1, buddy.
Jackie Love has to be
Lost
frustrated.
everything. He lost it
Level
all.
3 from Labrov. Can't sidestep as the initial Q connects. Hansama only level 2. Is able to proc the press the attack. Jackie Love so damn low. Skewmon starting to walk down. TES imprisoned under this bot lane tower. If they go anywhere else, they will fall. And if they leave, they will fall
Jackie
even
needs level
further
2.
behind. Jackie Love desperately needs access to the spell shield, but it looks like Skewmon might just start to walk him down. Knockup is there, but again, Labrov 3 for 3 on the bindings. Hong, though, clutch as he fires back.
Ooh, G2 barely get out alive with the other 2 members. Mid, though.
Caps caught out, procs the phase rush, starts to run, will be able to make it away. Hung on the way into trying to finish off the run. Q, flash, slowed down. Skewmon getting a little bit more damage. Down goes Hong. He wanted to turn it back, but G2 find another.
We want to play all their resources down to the bottom side. You want to leave the Galio isolated versus Rumble anyway. You just continue to stack dragons, have Ryze constantly hovering to gank on bottom side, and Skewmon keep on clearing from top side. You know, honestly, though, G2 progressed the game plan pretty smoothly here as Skewmon level 6 on Mundo just farming away. And with the extra grubs as well, you know, he got second Skull Crab, so he got that extra leverage over Kanavi. Then getting the grubs as well is just so nice for this champ.
G2 happy to have all 3 Void
He's
grubs.
hovering around, and this time it's not fake pressure. He has the ulti available. He's been spotted.
Cap spotted Jackie Love on the run, now realizes there's really nowhere for him to go. The last bastion of safety. TP not quite there for Cream. TP not quite there for 369 as the Colon comes out onto Jackie Love, getting lower and lower. The heal already popped. Cap's waiting off to the side. Skewmon tanking the tower, and the TPs are now coming in. That's the feat of warfare for G2. And the portal out! A flawless heist on the top side. The equalizer too damn late.
As he gets away to safety. And now we return back to live as Caps has found Hong.
Hong straying way too far forward. Thought he had an angle. Thought G2 were resetting.
Pushing the bot 2v2. And after game 1 where Han Summon just straight up got bodied by Jackie Love in the matchup, to come in game 2, brush that one off, and then have a performance like this, a massive glow up for this G2 bot lane. They're continuing that pressure. Level 8 Han Summon to level 6 Jackie Love. He's being completely zoned away from the farm.
And you can see they're committed to taking Jackie out of this game. They've ignored topside in 369 entirely. They're happy to give him isolated gold as long as they can take it away from Jackie Love.
Yeah, this is something that G2's doing a lot this game. They are constantly committing 4 members to one side of the map. Broken Blade moves into mid to catch the wave. And as you highlighted, Dracos, they're just allowing 369 that solo farm. He's building a lead of his own, but the rest of the map is going all the way of G2.
Committed into going into Broken Blade. That's the fate seal for the follow-up. A lot of time wasted here. They do get Broken Blade, but Lebrov moving up as well.
Littered across the map from Lebrov. He's got great deep wards everywhere on the map.
Kanavi on the flank, though. Hansama caught out for a brief moment. Cream finds him isolated, and Hard reads the play. Hansama name changing to Dr. Seuss after that
Gets
one.
some much needed XP here in game 2.
Wow, that was just such a masterful play here for TS. Perfect timing for them to punish G2 and delete. Stacking is still available for G2. They're starting it out very quickly. Broken Blade walking over. Galio ultimate ready.
Eyes on Hansama and the Coling. The most fed, individually powerful member of this G2 lineup. He has to perform in the fight. It's the flank for Broken Blade for now. 369. The ulti combo is real from TES if they can find the angle. Kanavi moving forward, Hung getting chunked out. Taunt off to the side. Kanavi uses ult. It's the drag down for TES. They no longer with the fight. They want to get out. Quick fate sealed from TES. But now the Realm Warp in. G2 moving forward. The suitcase connecting onto Cream, but they don't quite find the snare. TES retreating well, getting the initial objective. Their fate now tempered. Jackie Love locked up. Surely the Sivir falls here, but it's a quick flashback, and G2 walk away empty-handed.
Anti-synergy there. Lebrov ultimate actually hits the stasis onto Jackie just as Broken Blade got a taunt onto him. So then it times out, and as soon as they get out of the ultimate, he can flash away. So G2 are unable to catch anyone on the way out.
You can see that G2 is so hesitant to force that engage. Now Hung may have found a nice angle onto Caps.
Caps, no Realm Warp, and they know it. Kanavi here as well, the Profane Hydra, a lot of potential burst damage, move in, reset on the blade, Terra shape, grasp to try and finish it, the Ishtal's edge, knocking down Caps.
To be able to roast through the Mundo here. Skumon did go very heavily into armor, both the crit reduction as well as the Tabis, and getting the minus damage on auto attacks. So 369 still gonna kind of burn right through him.
Difficult position for G2 now. You have to feel that the ease of execution favors top esports. Hansama really needs to be on his A game, cannot afford to get caught again. You highlighted it already, but Jackie Love from being zoned away for so many of the early levels to now comfortably catching waves and farming in the mid lane. Definitely not what G2 were planning for. As Kanavi caught out for a moment. Ulti keeps him safe, connects onto 2! G2 thought they had the angle, but TES turn it right back. Hong going through the wall, looking for the setup. Initial binding going down, Redemption coming in to heal up G2 as they're ready to turn it back. Broken Blade there to cover both teams. Fist fighting for control. Ulti in from Cream goes completely wide. He's forced to snap back, but the root is still there. G2 holding
He's so good at stealing objectives.
Waiting on that cooldown for the Terra shape so you can get the double Q off. 4K.
Don't let him in.
Does he want to risk the 50-50? The answer is yes, but Skumon connects with the smite, secures the Otacon for G2.
That's huge. That's flash off of Kanavi as well. No flash on the Kiana. And went in with Grass, hoping that the invisibility is going to buy him time to get a better...
Working towards what I imagine will be the Infinity Edge. And once he gets it, my goodness, will this Lucian be scary.
That he will, as Hung cut out for a brief moment, but it looks like he's turned it back onto Lebrov. Thought the portal would keep him safe, but it did not. Going to a passive remove, won't be able to pick up the canister. I mean, Skumon is vulnerable. Heart Zapper there, forced to use the maximum dosage, starting to heal out. The taunt still connects onto Cream, but an excellent equalizer to zone away Hansama. Healing reduction does mitigate some of it. This is about half HP. TES now retreating. They've burned so many ultimates. Keep your eye on the Fate Sealed. Cream on the flank, but he's not going to be able to get much done. His Caps is already looking to take things over, but the ulti still hits! Cream in the clutch, trading 1-for-1. Skumon and Caps, blinking health bars against 4 standing members of TES.
Incredible triangulation of the engage from Cream onto Hansama, taking him out. Caps is the fearsome member of G2 still left alive, but with the teleport, TES will force them off the objective.
Lebrov inbound with the Tempered Fate, but it does look like TES will tie up the Drakes. 369 not going to follow the magical journey, but TES getting what they came for. Still an extra BF sword, but keeping my eyes on 369. The Rumble continues to benefit as Jackie Love has been caught out. Skumon finding him. Kanavi's ulti not doing a damn thing. Mundo going where he pleases. The ulti from the Bard not quite connecting. Ulti from the Rumble, the equalizer, doing a bit of damage back, but the pick in favor of G2.
When in doubt, look to pick off Jackie Love. It is a tried and true strategy. G2 early position into the brush of the red quadrant of the jungle rewards them.
He's catching Nu. Hong's able to find the knockup, working through. Extra damage onto Stumon now going through. Cream is going to follow the snapback coming in, but Hanzama's already gotten a kill in return. Stumon is just healing too much. The armor, the crit reduction paying off. Cream flashing out to safety. He found the angle in the previous fight. He will not today. Hung getting run down in G2's jungle. G2 found the initial pick. TES thought they could do one better, but they absolutely could not.
Ring around the rosy.
Hex flash goes over. Running. Okay, he's dead. And Hung, I gotta be honest, it's been a rough one. You said it earlier, but just continues to make these little mistakes as now 369 is in jeopardy. Shut down on his head, a bounty that G2 are eager to collect. 369 doing a lot of damage, but crucially the taunt turning away from Caps. Caps now 3.
Prize of Summoner's Rift.
Oh no, this is a scary objective start. All of Europe is holding onto the edge of their seat as Kanavi is in the area.
Second blue trinket
come down.
Spots it out. Skimon, of course, happy to tank up a lot of this damage. A massive risk to be certain. Tempered Fate available. TES group. Labrov holding onto it as long as he can. Kanavi, the grass blade ready to go. Stun onto Jackie Love connecting. Caps immediately going to follow. Redemption coming through, but it's not enough. Once again, Jackie is picked off. Cream coming in with the Q3, but it's just too late. Kanavi trying to make his way out, but he isn't able to grab the grass blade, and down he goes. G2 might not get the Baron yet, but they sure as hell take the fight.
A scary situation that is masterfully handled. G2 find a nice turn onto Top Esports, who don't 5 or 5 members. They put the pressure onto Kanavi, they get the pick onto Jackie Love, and they're looking to secure their first Baron of the series.
What a domino effect for G2. And picking off the Rumble in the side lane coverage for themselves. That allows you really impressive use of a Baron buff that guarantees towers will be destroyed, gold will be accrued for G2, and the poise that they have showed on stage here after being demolished in game number 1 results in G2 knocking on the base of TES here, only 27.5 minutes into the game.
Oh, that Civet starting to hurt a little bit. Caps brought down to less than 50% HP. Skumond largely unfazed by that poke, but Top Esports haven't quite given up just yet. The game is not over. Dragon is alive.
Waiting in the darkness, Q3 from Cream connecting nicely. Redemption to heal him back up, 350 additional HP to hold the line here as G2 knocking down the tier 2s, but haven't broken the base quite yet. Maybe hoping to catch TES off guard.
No Baron buff on Caps means that he's not going to have those empowered minions. He's going to clear out this wave, but that mid tower is soon to fall as G2 continue their siege on the bot side of the map.
Yes, using the equalizer to clear this wave, knowing there's only one more coming in mid, one more coming in bot before the Baron will fade away. Skumon chunked out. A nice magical journey to usher G2 into the mid lane. Out-rotating TES for a brief moment does mean the inhibitor should fall. TES, I think, need to give this one up. Cannot afford to force a fight, especially with the Kiana at this angle. No big walls to play around. So hard for TES to get that 5v5.
Yeah, honestly, I think TS just have to play damage control. G2 are keeping up the pressure, though. These bards rotating everybody over to bottom side, and they're going to get this tower as well.
Tower flashing from Hong, looking for the 3-man immediate fall, but he's only going to connect on the Broken Blade. Creep cannot find the ulti, but Skumon sure as hell can't find the back line. G2 moving through, but Kanavi found the shutdown. In the meantime, the healing now going in. It's a jungler down, but Hanzama is dead as well. Jackie Love and 369 needing now to hold the line. 369 moving through. Jackie Love in the mid lane. TES a bit over eager on the force there. G2 happy to punish as Cream manages to find the knockup, continuing to poke at G2. And in the end, it'll only be the second inhibitor as G2 set their sights on their third
Basically
threat.
got Broken Blade, and Broken Blade still escaped and came back for the re-engage on top of Mundo. That being said, Kanavi's still able to find his target, killing edge for Cream. So the Yone is going to be more threatening. Jackie, of course, because he's been put so far behind, needs a lot more time to be able to really catch back up. And so G2, they're not going to give him that time. 2 inhibitors down, and they're coming for the third.
G2 looking to keep the pressure up. 369 uses the equalizer to clear the wave, and they've got Cream split pushing in a side lane. Knowing that G2 don't really have the threat to full commit here.
They have the Bard ultimate. They could use it if they want to try and force a dive, but G2's engage isn't the quickest. They are quite reliant on Skumond just running at his opposition. Maybe Caps landing a root. Good damage comes down onto Skumond.
Another wave here. Cream finally going to reset, ready to engage in the fight. 2-man ulti coming in from Kanavi, and Labrov is on the way out, calling over the wall, taking down Hong as 369 also trying to fire back. The Flame Spitter doing a decent amount of work, but here comes the Realm Warp. Kanavi ulti already gone. He's got no course. make it out of this one. The grass blade keeps him standing though, crucially. Flashing from Cream. This time, Ansama's got the movement. Manages to make it out of the way with the relentless pursuit, and now Caps chasing down the remaining members of TES. G2 firing back in this game too, and they may just look to end it here.
G2 bounce back in a masterful way. They stick to their comfort.
Kanavi, decent start to the fight, but it's just not enough. You said it, Betty. A masterful bounce back. We had questions. G2 had answers. The series tied at 1-1.
Beautiful game plan. Attack the bottom lane. G2 just destroyed Jackie and Hung.
They need to secure a few more kills.
Champions in their first game here in Swiss versus G2. Instead of the Wei, they had Orianna. Instead of the Ezreal, they had the Yunara. But it's
really? Caps is Silas into this much. So he wants to avoid as much damage as possible. Now, Skewmond making his way top lane.
Blake can just leverage the stun here. Infernal Chains do pull him back, but it might not matter. Skewmond, decent damage now coming in. The shield, extra slow there. Broken Blade still waiting for that cooldown, though. Might not be able to finish it. Does not want to go under tower. One more auto, and Skewmond manages to seal the deal.
Beautiful river to allow these roams back and forth.
Hansama, flash forward from Hong, looking to lock him down with the root and still managed to connect as Kanavi moves in. That's the pillar locking him in as well. Jackie loves W going a little bit wide here as Hansama tries to back out with the lantern, denying the play. Lebrov ready to body block as well as Cream is moving forward, has access to the ultimate, the Spiraling Despair. Lebrov still frontlining Skewmond, the shields. Going to keep him standing for now. Lebrov is forced to flash away. TES with control of the bot side rivers. There's an all-in top. Dominus already used by Broken Blade. 369 on the way out with the Whirlender. Should just be able to. And the other big thing is Wall Thresh can be a very feast or famine champion. If you're the team who gets to set up first, he can feel so powerful.
Yeah, same thing for Caitlyn and the Caitlyn traps. Nice little brush line here is going to allow the quicker stack up as well. Lantern safety is still there. Nicely done.
And Lebrov will just fish for poke, and you can see the Ezreal ultimate as well. Coming through the top lane, trying to thin out that wave, also threaten G2's bot lane in the event of the dive. But Hans is more than happy to just play for plates right now.
And despite a difficult first few levels, right, where Jackie Love and Hong are able to put all that pressure down, Hansama and G2 have been able to bring themselves back in this game. It's a 200 gold advantage, but perhaps a bit too keen to take away some of these camps. Lebrov is there with the lantern. Can it get him out this time? The answer is no. Skewmond gonna fall, but gonna go move with the fancy footwork just in time for Jackie Love to snipe out the kill. Trading sides of the map, of course, Trundle, a terror on those towers, and while there's a lot of tools to protect Hansama, not quite able to work through that objective quickly, even with the power of 3 grubs from the plays early on.
And I think Top Esports want to keep this going. Even with the grubs advantage that G2 has, they're going to commit to the recall. Broken Blade really can't afford to approach the wave. He has his ultimate to try and protect it, but Cream is on his way as well. TP committed.
Cream first on the move as well. I think sees the
he doesn't realize that there are 3 wards on the bot side of the map. TP is available for Caps. TP is about to come up for Broken Blade. They could look for a very deep flank to get a collapse onto 369.
It's also 20 seconds away from that Mountain Drake. TES were able to grab the first cloud. Instead, G2 happy with the Herald. See if Caps wants to burn the TP down to this bottom lane tower. Instead, it seems like he'll be happy to catch the wave wherever it's at. TES, though, see an easy angle to set up around this Drake. G2 aren't going to have any bot prio. It will be difficult if they want to contest this. I think more likely that they just give it away.
Yeah, I think it's the trade. My question is, are they going to try and send 3 people towards Cream at the moment? We have Lebrov like looking over the side wall here to see if they can pressure this way.
I will say that XP going the way of Top Esports right now, mainly because 369 has spent so much time isolated in the side lane. Cream doing the same. They both have about a half a level lead as G2 pushing this top wave in with the Heralds. Not much the Top Esports can do to stop it.
Ulti onto Broken Blade.
Caps has to be so careful here. He is completely isolated from his team. And of course, when I say that, that means that he has to fight.
Playing on the edge. Lebrov obviously moving into the mid lane, as is Hansama, but Hansama has to be careful not to step too far forward. Has Skewmond to protect him, and not base checks. Into Cream, into Jackie Love. Kanavi already pulling the Otacon back. Doesn't want to be too close.
Caitlyn's backing. They have no idea.
Now they suspect TP coming in from 369. Might not have flash, might not have ulti, but there to back the team up on the objective.
If they don't have Caitlyn, they cannot fight. So the timing window here for Hans walking back is just going to be too slow. This is for sure just TES objective.
And credit to TES, recognizing the strength of their own composition, that they had to respond. Likely the third Drake to TES immediately following.
This could be the fight. Broken Blade's going back to buy.
Caps on the side, but spotted out by TES. Knockup is good from 369. Lantern gonna pull him back. Decent ulti coming in from Jackie Love. Redemption getting those health bars right back up. TES pull away from the Drake, but Kanavi wants to fish for more. Pillar down in the mid lane, won't have much effect. Hook connecting onto Hung, but LeBron stuns himself to throw it down, and it's a severing bolt from the skies to knock him down. Caps will fall as well as Jackie Love fearlessly shifts forward.
They suffocate G2 away from the vision, they take apart their HP, and they catch Caps out of position.
And
That's the whole point.
Can they find a surprise pick?
Root Collar over the wall. Broken Blade immediately going to stun him. So much damage. Barely gets a chance to push the sub to gain it. Likely still going to fall. The shutdown is there. 369 running, but the second
Bit late.
also able to grab the flash. Using the Daisy to siege the tower here, but without more threat onto Cream, pretty effortlessly deletes these waves. Daisy gives them a few more autos, but Hansama can't afford to stick around.
Everybody except for Hansama, because the rest of G2 are going to be clumping.
The Brav. They're going a little bit wide, but now he's just completely isolated himself. Flash forward with the play. Broken Blade ready to come over the wall immediately into the back of the line, but Jackie Love is still standing for now, untouched. Broken Blade trying to move forward, but 369 perfectly interrupts. Jackie Love shift back over the wall, now able to free fire, but Hansama is firing back just as well. Trap down, Redemption coming in. The Caitlyn needs to make the difference, but it's 369 into the back line with the triple.
Caps is going to run for his life, but 369 still on the hunt. Even though Caps survives, it does not matter. That is going to be TES awaiting the arrival of their Ocean Soul.
It does not matter the year, it does not matter the game, it does not matter the team. The LPL Aatrox comes all the same. It is the fear of all European teams as 369 comes up.
Lantern can get him closer. Is the miracle here?
Skewmon needs to get the steal. 5K getting lower. Caps waiting over the wall, taking a bit of poke already. Root down from Skewmon. All D's coming in. LeBron getting lower and lower. 369 looking to isolate him completely. The jungler deleted. Kanavi remains on the Baron. Caps hoping for a desperation steal, but it absolutely will not work. The Ocean Soul, the Baron empowering TES as they take the objective. Hansama, Q connecting, Infernal Chains. It's beautiful from 369.
Top Esports deny the steal from G2. Top Esports is hunting for more kills, and Top Esports is looking to go match point in this best of 5.
Lantern there, but TES running G2 down. Caps finally going in, but that's not a 1v1 you want. Jackie Love in melee range, fist fighting the Silas without fear.
And TES are inside the base. They've got Baron buff on. They can just go for the rest of the buildings.
Reset coming in from Broken Blade. Skewmon there, but it's not enough. 39 seconds on Caps, 13 on Hansama. The True Shot Barrage will not connect, but TES just keeping the siege going. One tower to fall. Broken Blade marked up by the Spiraling Despair, trying to hold on to the mental in the final moments as the last member of G2 falls. Hansama there just in time to watch TES move on to match point, and they're making it personal as they take him down.
Kanavi flashing the JDG side. Trying to keep track of the Nico can get very difficult as well.
You can hear the crowd getting excited of the prospect of 369's Nart, something he's played a lot so far this year, and he's going to be bringing it out. I will say though, as good as it is in the matchup, I feel
on the
like
way up. Remember, the Draven, the potential gold income from the stacks could be massive, but Hansama is zoned away completely right now, and they recognize a window of opportunity. Kanavi immediately going to go forward. Hung not able to find the knockup. A clever use of the heroic charge from Skewmon. Hansama off to the side. Eyes on the Draven. The knockup is there, and Hung might just go down. That's the ulti and the first blood to G2.
Kanavi wanted to steal away a Grove, but he gets Ornn ulted.
Ornn called. Kanavi still running, zoned away from the objective. LeBron pretending to be a melee minion.
they've TP'd Broken Blade up here though, and that's just giving 369 free access to this bot tower. It is good news for G2.
Get the Dragon on top of it afterwards here. So really playing around the Yuntal completed Hansama. Getting that to just walk his way up there.
Ooh, 369
here.
thinks he's safe.
Level 9 though. Ulti available, as is the flash. G2, they've got Skewmon on the way, but they need to be careful not to go too soon. Root does connect onto 369. They spot Skewmon now coming in. Hansama forced to flash away. 369 manages to connect with the wall. Flash forward, 2 into the wall, and here comes Kanavi! 369 playing with patience, punishing G2.
Oh, 368, he alley-oops into the wall for Kanavi to clean it up. Comes down and gets 2 kills onto the Nefiri. That is absolutely insane for a play that G2 had been waiting for and prepping for, waiting in the brush.
Excellent patience demonstrated by Top Esports, and getting that kill onto Hansama as well to try and slow this Draven down. Kanavi will pick up 2 kills. The superstar of this team being...
They're going to need to be careful on the side lanes. You can see the pings down now onto Caps. Kanavi moving down. Caps will see this coming. But Kanavi taking his time to move in. A nice backstep. Scat of the week is going to be big here. Eyes on Caps. 369 starts to stack the Rage. Ulti's still not quite available. They managed to lock him up. Going to try to burst him down because it's Broken Blade out of nowhere on the flank to secure the kill.
Top laners really want to be bot lane. They TP to bot. Broken Blade assists with the kill. He'll help his team get the first tower of the game as well. Cream will be left isolated top to pick up farm where he can. But was Top Esports now being the proactive player?
The next kill is going to determine the feats or the next objective for G2. They are very close to getting them. Top side here is kind of being answered and will eventually go
start off this objective as 369 looks to secure another tower for his team.
369 gained and then lost a bit of a gold lead in the isolated 1v1 after Broken Blade was able to TP in and get that first kill. Cap zoning hung off. Cream now moving in. Just a bit of cheeky poke. Won't be able to
by
steal.
pushing in one lane. There's not a lot that Broken Blade can do about it except kind of like collect the wave once it gets up to the secondary tower. And it does result in...
which I do believe he has right now. So G2 kind of have to cover this side lane. They have to overstack and they have to leave Broken Blade on the weak side of the map in order to really play through these side objectives. Caps will secure that tower, equalizing us.
Teleport play here. They're trying to pincer 369.
369 starting to back up, extra movement speed from the Hyper proc. Ulti out, not a lot of rage. Stack trying to bounce, but he's not going to find the angle. Instantaneous knock-up, the Fury stacking. 369 living for an extra moment, but not nearly long enough. Cream comes down, but it's just...
With the Rift Herald, they have extra pressure towards mid lane.
So much threat. You can see the range of the Scat of the Week from Caps makes it so easy to poke out Kanavi. Jackie Love, shorter range, all things considered, so can't really walk up to that wave without risking his life as he doesn't have the ulti. He doesn't have the cleanse, and you can see it's hurting. Knock back into the wall onto Hung. Is forced to use the quickness. Taking his time on the blast cone as G2 remain laser focused on this mid wave. Kanavi waiting over the wall, but spotted out by Labrov, crucially.
Skewmon's already started this objective. The TP early used by 369. Both teams looking for a brawl.
No control over the opposite side, Tribush from G2, but it seems like they are unconcerned. Happy to just force the front to back. Hung on the flake. No quickness available, but he does have access to the exhaust. 3K on the objective. G2 are trying to burn it down, but Kanavi's not having it. The Forge God called. Broken Blade exhausted. Knocked out G2. Hand delivering the objective to the side of TES. 369 wants a bit more. The Hyper procs coming in. Scat of the Week. Pushing back TES, but G2 losing so damn much.
Yeah, G2's hopes come crashing down.
Level up over Caps, accelerating into the mid and late game. Top Esports, we were saying, what will be the fight that really breaks this game open? And I think we just saw it. Top Esports now with a huge advantage here in game.
They make it look effortless for Kanavi.
And they saw the flank from the Rakan as well around this side, and then the Victor puts so much pressure, so much damage out. Flashing in immediately, Skewmon trying to escape with his life, but he just burns down, and they could not clutch it.
I think G2 just played way too fast. They funneled themselves into this narrow choke. We go back to live. 369
likely to fall here. Caps laying down a good bit of damage. They're going to give the cash out to Hansama, crucially. The others is actually his passive gold. You can see he's already earned 1640 from it as Labrov looks like he might be caught out here. Chase coming in from Cream. Nice rocket belt to get him out to safety. Immediate knockback from Skewmon. But G2 don't really have an angle to push any further, just a trade of abilities. And Labrov able to walk away with his life.
369 coming in from the flank though.
Not going to be able to burn him down. That is one tanky Gnar. Kanavi there as well. Hong now has the ultimate waiting for the W from Skewmon. Excellent patience for the Poppy on G2.
The TP is used by Broken Blade. He's gotten involved in the fight. He has his ultimate, but he's hesitant to throw it out. Top Esports just playing with their food.
I mean, health bars just getting chipped away.
Poke from Cream. Nothing to underestimate. You can see the health bars.
Kanavi already used the W. They see that as an opportunity to go in. Instant focus coming in for G2, but Kanavi still stands. TES have weathered the storm, and it's Kanavi now on a killing spree. Here comes Hong. G2 thought they had the angle, but Kanavi lives.
Top Esports hold the line. The engage from G2 does not set up the fight that they were looking for, and the response was brutal. Top Esports find 4. 369 is looking to take out Caps.
About to go Mega. One more hyper proc, giving him the extra movement speed. One more auto, the boomerang to get it done.
369 finishes the job, and TES will take the Baron.
We look back at this fight. The ulti is good from the Poppy, but then they can't quite close the gap. We turn back to live.
Another fight breaking out. This time Labrov in trouble. 369 there. Kanavi on a rampage. Baron still empowering TES, but you said it right. They thought they had the angle. They thought they could kill the Nefiri. They didn't have the damage in the right place, and the entire fight fell apart.
I mean, JackeyLove and Kanavi, all they had to do was flash away, and that was enough. G2 then couldn't chase the rest of the fight. Top Esports played it patiently. They had a very nice re-engage, and you have to feel like that was the final fight of the series. A 6.5k goal lead for Top Esports, a Baron buff as well, another pick onto Labrov. Things are falling apart for G2.
Ulti coming in from Kanavi. Goes intangible, and Caps just gets cut down. Everything connecting, the reset on the ulti there. Hansama not powerful enough. Skewmon tries to get the space, and it's the cash out. TES overeager, the shutdown for Hansama, but the pressure still mounting as the tier 2 falls. The Baron still there, empowering the remaining members of TES. Just a 1-for-1 in the end. The gravity field coming in too. The ulti to follow. Hung with an ulti of his own, looking to lock down Hansama, who for now is untouched. The lifesteal is there, and he's living for an extra moment, but here comes JackeyLove. Wants to make the difference. It's just broken blade, and Labrov left. He is here to clean it up. No man left standing.
Cream even lives in TES. They are going to go inside the base. The Baron buff still on. They're looking at semifinals.
TES. They waited 5 long years. JackeyLove. 5 years since they've been to a semifinal. They don't want to wait any longer. They don't want to give G2 or Caps a moment to breathe. TES, take down Caps, take down G2, strike revenge for MSI, and move on to the semifinals.
We'll see exactly what they want to go for here. Most likely for Keria. Again, it could still be the Pantheon as the support. I don't think it will be. No, it'll be Keria's Rakan as the final pick of the draft here for T1.
Yeah, pretty good matchup into the Braum. All the extra movement that Rakan does have here for that one. And honestly, the engage
with that Realm Warp, an AL should be able to keep T1 at bay. I don't even think T1 can test here.
Yeah, for sure. With how much pressure Flandra has in the 1v1, the Rek'Sai has a Sion under tower already, and you see Flandra proxying even, so T1 looks very good for them, or excuse me, AL looks very good for them to grab the grubs. Will T1 even try and answer anything on the other side of the map?
What I commented earlier, 3 Void Grubs with a side laner that's already winning this hard. This is AL. There's not a kill on the board, and Flandra's forcing down the first turret 14 minutes into the game. Now T1 starting up the second Drake. They want to try to keep stacking here. Keria disengaging as AL's on the approach. T1 grouped up as 4. The Drake is down to 2,000 HP. Faker joins up with everybody. It's a 5v5. They go in immediately as Doran tries to lead the charge with the flash estimating smash, but he's only going to be beat down himself. A lot of damage on the Doran, but he is not down. Keria into the back line. The major engage from T1. Tarzan finds a supreme display of talent and making a 1-for-1 so far. But T1 have the health bars. Faker rides the Weaver's wall as Keria's about to die into the back line. But Kyle falls. Tarzan falls. T1, they'll lose Keria as Gumayushi fights back, and Shanks is on the run. Faker and Guma looking for a little bit more with a piercing arrow going over the wall, and Faker's ready to flash. Another rock is thrown, and Shanks is buried.
They're going to grab this one. No Guma around to steal it.
Yeah, it looks like instead T1 going to try and push in mid and collapse onto the spot.
Put a stop to the T1 team fight. And look at this. The river control for T1 is pretty early.
Yeah, for AL, it has to be a way of finding a bypass to Doran. Flandre going in.
Yeah, Flandre goes in for the flash. He wants to try to find Faker here. Needs a little bit more damage. Ulti to drop the aggro, and Shanks gets the kill. TP coming in from T1, but it might...
We've got Otacon here. T1 pushing on top side, trying to set up around it very early on. Again, the flashes will be critical here.
Oh, Hope goes forward, but immediately Carry is ready to try to respond here with the grand entrance. Hope tries to get over the wall. He sidesteps the seismic shot, but the damage from Owner is way too much. A big mistake from AL, and a bigger punish from T1. Tarzan goes in! Supreme display of talent under 3, but there is no follow-up. Tarzan has to try to flash away. Owner goes after him, but now he's trapped. Shanks with a little bit more damage, kills off the T1 jungler. The realm warp's ready to go in, and Shanks wants another. The arrows fly out as Doran charges in. Shanks with a flash to the side to avoid the engage coming out from T1's top laner. Doran's gonna try to run. Another arrow flies out from Gumayushi as now Carry has got to be careful as he battle dances in and out of the fight. Hold on, we've got a respawn from Kael. He teleports back, and now it looks like AL is gonna take the opportunity to go after the Otacon.
AL have to try and rush this. They know that they've only got a couple of seconds until Owner's back up, and he has that ultimate available. The interrupt is huge because that will stop T1 responding with the dragon.
Exactly. Big interrupt there on Gumayushi, and AL, despite this is sole point if T1 secure it. AL know that this puts them in a very bad spot. Dragon down to 1,000, already going to be secured by Owner. AL continue over the bot side river. Owner and Gumayushi wanting to step up a little bit here. TP coming in from Doran. He's going to be the one to try to face check. Carrier takes some damage from Shanks, has to use the grand entrance to get himself back away. AL with control over the river, still for now. Flandre looking around in the blue buff area, but he won't find anything. Kael down to half HP already from the T1 poke. That's only going to get scarier if T1 secure this objective. Kael using the Unbreakable, blocks the piercing arrow. Poke trading back and forth still between both sides. Keep your eyes on the engage, keep your eyes on Carrier. Flandre digging into the pit, putting that tunnel down, making sure he has some extra mobility for the upcoming fight as T1 want to step forward. Doran then going to crush the tunnel. Kael, half HP still, going to use Redemption early here for AL just to make sure the health bars stay topped off. Flandre marked on the side, seismic shove onto the AL top laner. Chain CC on the Flandre, he's already down. T1 have found the pick. Supreme display of talent, tries to hold the line, but into the back line goes Owner. Hope is being chased, Tarzan's being killed. Anyone's legend is being crushed as Shanks tries to fight back in a 1v4, but he'll get nothing but an epitaph as T1 kill 4 and take Soul.
T1 go fishing and they find Flandre. They pick him off and they decimate AL in the team fight.
Hope is trying desperately to hold on, but T1 are chasing.
Baker's riding the wall in. Hope's going to be the last to die. A delayed ace for T1, and the delay makes it even better because now, even when AL respawns, they are not going to have everyone all at once. They will not be full strength. T1 won't just take the soul. They're going to take the whole enemy team. They're going to take the top lane turret. They're going to take Baron, and they're going to take a hell of a hold on this game.
And all of it is because Kerry was doing such a good job of matching Tarzan. The Tarzan tried to move, and they sent Flandre into his death as T1 find the pick they need, and the immediate follow-up with Kerry in the bush.
AL trying to set some kind of a trap. They know a fair fight doesn't favor them any longer. Kael gonna be trapped on the wrong side of the Weaver's wall. Seismic shove connects onto Shanks, who immediately goes golden. But it's gonna be a 2-for-1 deal. Supreme display of talent at least takes Carry out in the process. But T1 have still won the fight. They're gonna keep pushing forward. They've got the Baron, they've got the Soul, they've got the enemy tier 1 turret down. They've got Owner diving into the back line. But the escape is there for the rest of AL. Flandre trying to distract, get something else back over in the mid lane here at the same time, try to get an objective bounty because AL know they are not fighting back in the bottom lane. T1 take the tier 2.
Gumayushi's chains of corruptions locking down Shanks, making sure that neither him or Kael could get out of there. T1, they are in the heads of anyone's legend. Is dark. And T1 continue to push in this top side. AL are attempting to get here, but this tower is gone.
Nothing left of the tier 2 top. Another one falls, and T1's gold lead climbs back over 6,000 as the Baron, still 20 seconds left on this one. Another wave about to come towards the tier 3. And it looks like this is going to be the last wave that T1 get to push with. We'll see if they want to try to make the full break of the base. Here's your Weaver's Wall. T1 going to summon the Redemption immediately just to make sure they can power through this. Realm Warp from Shanks just to make sure he's not caught on the wrong side of the Taliyah ulti. And that's T1 using every...
And then join at the next cause.
There is some vision in behind T1 though. And maybe that's what AL are looking for. You can see they're pinging that ward that's just over.
AL starting up the Elder Dragon now. T1 watching on, waiting for the rest of the team to approach. Elder Dragon down to about 1/2 HP. Hope taking a chunk of damage. Dora charging in. Weaver's Wall over the top. Kael's going to be caught. A ton of burst onto the support of anyone's legend. And he's already down. T1 charge forward. Double killing Gumayushi. Pressure onto Tarzan. Triple kill Guma. AL are cut to pieces. And T1 holds the sword. Flandra's last to die, and ace for T1 will be the end of game 1.
Great force there from T1. They use their wallets and they destroy AL at the Dragon one more time.
Doran putting the last touches here on the Nexus turrets. The Elder Dragon is claimed, but there's no one left to execute. The game was quiet. The game was close for so very long. But when it came down to the clutch, it's T1 who prove why they are the reigning back-to-back world champions. They out-team fight AL, and they'll take the first game in this best of 5.
Try and go for something like the One. You still end up in melee range with a Galio, which is not exactly great, but it's the Anivia.
Faker Anivia as the 5th pick of the draft here for T1.
That sounds painful for Galio. What is Galio gonna do?
You see Tarzan coming down for the Wukong level 3 gank potential here in the bottom lane. Keria goes in with a dredge line. A lot of damage onto Kael. He flashes away. Goyushi flashes after. One more spinning axe is gonna do it, but no! Hope denies it. Trying to time this so Owner can be in position right as the wave is ready to crash. They don't want to allow Flandra to try to clear this out. Canamini going to absorb it here with a star. Wind becomes lightning. Flandra with a flash away. Doran going to burn him down, but he needs a little bit more damage with the flame spitter. The turret was so...
6. Eyeing up Faker on the Anivia in this mid-wave.
He's looking for that public execution, and he finds it. Faker gets jumped on. Flandra going in, trying to proc the rebirth, and they get it. They've scrambled the egg, and there's the feat of warfare for anyone.
Cole very early on, so keeping the Sivir in mid and just farming and being content to just trade objectives. All right, my Sivir's just gonna mow down the minions in mid wave and then rotate over to the Dragon. You know, we don't want this early confrontation since you've got Xin and Nautilus Draven, and so they will go for the Dragon and they will continue to farm.
Exactly. Remember in game number 1, it was AL securing all 3 grubs, and then T1 securing that first Drake about a minute later. This time around, we swap them around. It's T1 going for the 3 grubs, and AL, and you just saw it right there. Hope's boomerang blade, his ricochet, excuse me, bouncing through the wave to stop Gumayushi's back as Doran goes in from a ton of damage here with a Flandra. The public execution plus the flash to try to get away. Flash Electro Harpoon coming out from Doran, but no! It's Flandra with reinforcement from Shanks for the shield, for the outplay to stop Doran in his track.
Wait a sec!
Makes it a 1-for-1. Gumayushi from all the way across the map strikes true, and T1 starts the Drake.
It looks so good for AL, but Guma finds the cash in with the ult from the opposite side of the map, and now AL, they need to be careful.
Yeah, AL's got to be careful here. Kael gonna have a nice keeper's verdict to make the fight unfair. Carry is your first target. His owner wants to go in after Kael now. Loses half his HP. Boomerang blade takes Carrier down to 150. Faker making his way forward, but T1's not gonna find anybody. They also
Doran's
using the teleport now. Doran coming up behind him. The Rumble's already arrived into the fight as Tarzan tries to find some damage onto Faker. Shanks looking to cut him off. The egg, again the rebirth is triggered as Flandra's made his way into the fight and Gumayushi goes back over the wall. Tarzan kills Faker and T1 is on the run. Carry a dredge lines back to safety as Shanks dives in beside Kael. A double kill for Tarzan and the Draven is dead again. Anyone's legend comes to life in Shanghai and they're at a 2,000 gold lead.
But they will need to bring him in if they want to try and make a play in T1. Trying to scope out the area as that goes.
Yeah, Carrier jumps in here with the dredge line, finds Tarzan, but to no avail. Kael jumps in with a point-blank keeper's verdict. Shanks has arrived. They're looking at Gumayushi and they find the taunt. Guma's already down. T1 are routed as they try to escape from the pit.
Even with Owner's ultimate knocking him back for a second, he still moves in, finds the taunt, and they kill the Draven again. very careful about their positioning. Faker himself a little worried about his positioning.
Yeah, he's getting caught out here by Flandra. Public execution, though, not lined up
TPs are
correctly.
coming.
Now Flandra has to flash away. T1 committing to look to find the kill onto the Mbessa. Owner goes after it, needs the third talent strike, and Doran's damage is enough, but off to the side at the same time. Hope is going in. It's another kill traded back as Gumayusi dies once more. Anyone's legend. They want a second, and they'll find it. A double kill to Hope as T1 reinforcements are coming in, but they're a little too slow. Rift Herald summoned up here in the mid lane. Tarzan, Kael, and Hope gonna knock down the tier 1 turret, and now they're gonna drive it straight into the tier 2. Tarzan at the wheel. He'll slam that one right on in. Equalizer from Doran needs to be used just to clear the wave as Hope knocks down the minion spawning for T1. Faker's gonna take the turret up there in the top lane, and it's AL with more men on the Rift looking at Drake number 3.
Yeah, Hope's got an infinity edge and he wants to use it. He flashes over to follow Guma. He knows. He wins.
Anyone's legend, but nobody's here just yet. Otacon already down to 5,000 HP. Tarzan goes in for the Cyclone. Shanks ready to arrive with a grand entrance. Tarzan's low, and the Whirling Death's gonna find the execution. T1 still fighting back as the Otacon is slain by Owner, but he dies in the middle of the fight. Public execution finds no target. Gumayusi
Definitely rather have the Otacon and the extra experience and stats that you get from that. Afterwards, though, AL will make you pay for it even more. They get the top tower and secondary tower on bottom side. That is a lot of gold.
I was going to say, I think that's third item for Hope now.
The 3,000 individual gold lead for Hope as the 80 carry here with a Sivir. They're moving into the enemy jungle now, and Kael again just slams Owner into the wall, but now he's in danger. Tarzan and Kael both so low, it's 2 dead on the AL side, but Hope is still alive. Faker flashes back over the wall, but Shanks is burning. Flandra caught in the middle of everyone. Anyone's legend have overplayed their hand, and T1 is ready to punish. Hope should be next to die, and Guma cashes in. Only Shanks still stands. That could have been the entire game. A dredge line from Carrier, and Owner is ready to follow up. The wind becomes lightning and strikes Shanks down. Ace for nothing, for one, for nothing, T1.
You cannot make mistakes against T1 in playoffs. This is a team.
They have the control ward inside the pit. They're going to step back, group up as a clump, as 5 towards the bottom side of the river. AL looking for the approach. Tarzan wants to flank and he flashes over the wall. Now Faker's going to try to get away. Hero's entrance knocks up 3. T1 trying to scramble. The damage comes down and Flandra flashes back over the wall as Owner's first to die. T1 on the run. Kael wants a wall slam, but he can't quite find it. Hope goes in for Guma, and he cuts him down.
Try and bring the game back in their favor. That fight, that flash from Tarzan, the TPs though.
Faker jumping into a spot that he should not be. He doesn't get slammed to the wall, but he's far back enough that he cannot stay alive. Hope runs after Doran. The auto attacks cutting through the rumble. A little bit more is needed, and a little bit more will be found. Carrier presents himself on a silver platter, and it's AL eating good.
T1 were worried about the Baron, but they should have been worried about their lives. Teleporting in, AL will take from them.
Baron power play, want to get as much of a lead with it as they can. This is the 6th turret that they will take this game, which means the only targets left are inside the wave away, but the cannon minion is still alive. The tier 3 turret's below half HP. Everybody on AL is feeling confident, and without the equalizer, that's a big team fight tool that T1 no longer has.
Both lanes being pressured by AL. Gumayusi has to step forward to clear out these cannon minions because it's the only way you have a chance, but it opens up for AL to look for plays. Kael fishing for the Poppy ult, doesn't go for it.
Yeah, it's so hard to push on Anivia always. That's why the Baron buff is so important for AL in their attempts to siege. The Baron buff allowing so much of this extra damage to come through, empowering those cannon minions, empowering both lanes.
All right, top lane about to be the next target. Flandra wants to crash the wave. Still 1/3 of the cooldown left on the equalizer. Tarzan takes a little bit of damage here, but again, it's nothing super serious. Shanks leads the charge. Tier 3 turret drops to a colossal smash from Shanks as AL has found their way into the enemy base. T1 scrambling, regrouping between the top and mid lanes as they do want to continue trying to defend the turret. AL's gonna take their time though. Now they focus on the top lane, tier 3. Flandra's already got the wave. Hope steps up. Second tier 3 turret eliminated as T1 continue to retreat. Anyone's legend still playing it nice and slow. Inhibitor under siege top side first. Hope plus the cannon minion, more than enough to take that one down. Mid lane's already down. Those two inhibitors within fight for this. It's not Soul, it's not worth it. AL with a 6,500 gold lead now find themselves also as the wave clear of an entire team as Anivia. He can take care of those super minions. Everybody else groups up to defend the only remaining tier 3 turret, but over the wall goes Tarzan. Faker's got to try to stay safe into the back line. Public execution onto Faker. Redemption's not there in time. The egg has already been procced, but he will not be reborn. A kill onto Owner follows. AL's already found 2, and they want Gumayushi. Doran and Keria will be next to die as T1 are wiped off of Summoner's Rift. Anyone's Legend with a clean ace to win Game 2.
The Panda Warriors are coming alive in Game 2 and showing that in Shanghai, this city will belong to them.
Beautiful counter here, looking to lock in one of those melee carries.
I really like this adaptation here if they go towards the Yone. It gives you a really strong matchup in the mid lane that you can look to bully through, and you end up with the
constantly roam up to mid lane as well, and Faker is getting dangerous.
Yeah, Faker walks too close to the brush. The deadly flourish right after the EQ coming in from Tarzan. Faker still on the run. AL thinking about going further. There's your fate sealed. Shanks goes in. First blood over to Hope.
Anyone's Legend
Turns into that, plus the dragon right after.
Yeah, I mean, Faker is the one who wanders into the darkness of River, but Owner's the one who pays the price for it.
Total control over the grub pit. They've brought everyone up here, so Doran's going to get some free firing time on the bottom lane turret. Try to get some plates out of that one. We'll be able to secure the first, maybe even the second down here.
But this is the style of play that Anyone's Legend were so well renowned for, but Hope under pressure now.
Yeah, Keria wants the pull, and he finds it onto Hope, who immediately tries to get away with the bomb right over the top. They take him down. Gumayushi gets the kill. T1 junglers have their Sundered Skies available. Proto Belt also completed for Faker. T1 starting up the Drake, have it down to half HP. Kael, Tempered Fate, trying to save his jungler. Tarzan survives for now, but T1 is bringing everybody to the show. Doran in the middle of the Cataclysm. The stolen Tempered Fate. Tarzan's already down. Kael's about to die. T1's found 2. Shanks is in the middle of everybody, and he has to try to get away. He wants to charge Q3. He gets over the wall for now. Anyone's Legend has already lost their jungler.
Is immune with the Bard ult. Wait a second, Kyle's getting in there.
Yeah, Kael on the approach, but no, the smite is there for Owner.
Support there, but mid lane.
Yep, we're right back to live, and it's Gumayushi. Already used the satchel, sidesteps the deadly flourish. Tarzan steps forward, and Hope's got the killing bullet.
Flandre's in behind Guma.
Flandre's coming in here on the flank. Jumps in, but he doesn't find the opportunity here just yet. Tempered Fate, no target. Gumayushi getting away. Caught up here with the deadly flourish. The shots fire out. The curtain is cold, and Gumayushi is cold.
For tower pressure and the Rift Herald.
And Anyone's Legend gets the first turret. They've got the 3 grubs. They had the opportunity to force that down to the top lane before Doran can get the first turret down on the bottom lane at the same time. And that means decide where they want to go. They're staying nearby for now as Faker throws out the Tempered Fate to slow down the Drake a little bit. AL secures the Drake. They try to defend the tier 1 over in the mid lane here at the same time. Ulti from the Aurora keeps the structure standing, but Gumayushi has the satchel to complete the trade. Dragon for AL, tier 1 turret for T1.
Yeah, T1, wait a second.
Nice Tempered Fate there, flies out from Kael, and now they're looking to go in after Keria. The Mega Inferno bomb's not gonna matter. For everybody except for Faker, Tempered Fate, no target connection there, but AL is going all the way in. They want Gumayushi, who already gets away, so they're gonna switch over to Keria now instead. Owner trying to fight back as Shanks is in the middle of everybody. He snaps back. Keria dies first. Immortal Shield Bow keeps Shanks alive as AL are now continuing to retreat. Kael and Shanks very low. T1 goes forward. Tarzan with a dunk, but he's only gonna steal his own fate. Gumayushi barely holding on, but he burns down. Faker with a kill on Tarzan. Owner chases Hope. The Jhin getting away for now as T1 have lost their bottom lane, but they've killed 3 in response. Faker after Flandre, who has to flash away. Owner flashes to try to catch him with a ball breaker. Flandre needs more distance, but he cannot find it. Abscond.
Instant to burst out Gumayushi, and Shanks tries to follow, but ends up getting caught out. Can't snap back to the
We're
soul.
just going to sacrifice this. This will be soul point, not the actual soul itself.
Exactly, and that missed Yone ult that you're talking about, that's why they forced 1,000 gold's worth of stats. So if you then manage to take that after winning a fight, all of a sudden, things feel largely catapulted the other direction. So
Very big hook. Maybe get an early summoner spell.
Okay, knocks Tarzan up into the air. Tempered Fate onto Tarzan to try to keep him safe a little bit longer here, and he does manage to buffer through the CC. Now Flandra putting some pain onto the T1 lines, but no! It's Owner going in, they lock up Flandra, they beat him down! Owner's on a killing spree, and that's -1 for AL. T1 find the pick, and then they immediately evacuate.
Didn't need to invest the ultimate, could have just escaped because KL had bought enough time for the Demacian Standard to be used to escape. But now T1, another tower, more pressure to push AL back as Faker.
Fight is coming, but if Faker can't get away, this could be very problematic.
Yeah, Flash immediately into the binding, Tempered Fate right after. Faker trying to get away, goes golden to buy himself an extra second. Through the wall they go, Tempered Fate from Faker, keeping himself alive as Doran's under the back line. Hope is under pressure, Faker's still alive for now. Hope gonna be cut down, Doran going in and Faker's already cut down first. Hope next to die, it's a 1-for-1. AL's in the middle of everybody as Tarzan has to try to get away, and Carrier's gonna be focused, but he finds a pull over the wall beforehand. Flandra pulled in, but Doran shut down. Gumayushi over the wall with another satchel as Tarzan wants to find a little bit more, but he dies. Gumayushi and Owner working together as Guma dies to Shanks. Owner wants another. Flandra needs to get away, and he hops between worlds. The Abyss can't chase him down. Flandra gets back over the wall, and Shanks is ready to flash. Owner will get knocked into the Guardian Angel. Carrie is the only one left alive, and that Guardian Angel will not hear the prayers of
They scrap their way around, and that is the soul for anyone's legend.
Yeah, Owner's still dead for another 5 seconds. Unless you have some sort of a miracle blunder from the side of AL, there's no way. AL, off the back of a pick, will claim the Mountain Soul.
It's a MasterCard priceless moment. On T1 side, and anyone's legend know it. You can see it there. They've been on for a while, only half HP now.
Yep, but they are not backing off just yet. Kael fires out the Tempered Fate, but he won't find a target. Carrier wanted to pull, but he misses everybody. T1 backs away from the objective now as the Tier 1 turret also dies here in the mid lane.
Force T1 to come to them.
And T1 are ready to answer the challenge. Faker with a teleport ready to join up as immediately the engage comes out from Tarzan. The target is Carrier. The Shanks finds everybody! Thanks in the back line as Gumayushi tries to get away. He's scattered, but he's knocked down by Tarzan. Faker scrambling as Kael and Hope chase after him. Doran's gonna be the next target, and anyone's legend have forced the world.
Sure, the entire stadium has erupted here in Shanghai.
And the gold lead now back under the command of AL. They've got the Dragon Soul, the Elder spawning in less than 1 minute. The binding into the wall does not connect to Kael, but now T1 is overextended. Owner's in the middle of everyone. That's your jungler right before Elder, but the TP is a mistake from Flandra. He's shut down already. Owner's Guardian Angel will not save him. It's a 1-for-1.
Yeah, Guardian Angels though are up for Tarzan. They are up for Shanks. AL, such an advantage.
T1 trying to approach. Doran's gonna be the point man, trying to make his way in there as Gumayushi continues to throw bouncing bombs. Elder Dragon down to 3,000. Fate Seal cuts through, but the stasis gonna lock everybody up. Tarzan's gonna be your focus. Mega Inferno Bomb over the top of the Elder is secured by anyone's legend, and they're continuing the fight. Faker is about to be executed as Doran falls too. Anyone's legend is murdering T1. Curtain Call fires out. Most of the bullets won't find their target, but they won't need to. The final shot in Gumayushi is the victory shot for anyone's legend.
And they will head towards that T1 Nexus, taking this game, getting themselves to just 1 game away from what no other LPL team has ever been able to do. They will put T1 to series points here.
All right, the inhibitor falls. It's Owner and Carrier versus AL. They have to try to distract. Owner jumps into the middle of everyone, but the Elder Dragon will roar with the might of China as anyone's legend forces T1 to match point and takes game 3.
The second seed from the able to Nico and fights.
All right, we are in an elimination game for T1 at Worlds. They're putting Gumayushi on the controversial Kaza pick for him. They have a lot of
T1, and they don't know Doran's here.
Yeah, Doran's still there. The call of the Forge God. The paranoia over the top. Hope tries to get away with the flash, but he's still caught up in the fear. He waits to use the cleanse. Hope locked up by the Ornn, but he gets enough distance. AL staying alive for now. Kael and Hope both get away. T1 goes in. Gumayushi with a killer instinct, but Hope still lives underneath the turret. Doran's going in with a bellows breath, and it's first blood over to Keria. Kael tries to counterattack with Zenith Blade, but he does not have what he needs. Doran now the target. Shanks doesn't hit him with a chain. He's got to try to get away as Tarzan wants to kill Doran. Shanks still in the back part of the fight. Tarzan with a 3-man impale. T1 still trying to fight as Faker arrives in. Shanks down to 150.
Tower, but it is so good for T1. It is Guma that does not give up on the play. Even though Hope was able to escape from the Ornn ultimate, Guma says nobody's getting out of this. He ults in, he continues to play for T1, and all of T1 commit to the top side.
And it nets them so much, the extra kills, these kills. And Tarzan tries his best with Shanks to bring back this play. But there's just
He just goes up, he gets bonked a little bit, but now Tarzan is looking to change that around. Nice use of the bellows breath, but he is pulled back by the claw from Flandra. He tries to get underneath the turret. Doran flashes away. Flandra does secure the kill, but now he's got to get away from the turret. Looks to be saying that they have no interest in contesting this one. Flandra's just staying top. He has no Flandra putting the work in on this turret to take the first one. Nice deny there on the feats of strength.
Yeah, and the fact that you get to
T1 forced back away from the Herald.
Yeah, I like that. You immediately just drop it. Just immediately leash the Herald for T1 because Faker can finish.
Shanks still has a TP, but he's held in mid by Faker because of the wave clear of the Victor. Faker went in the trade against Shanks as Tarzan trades with Keria and Gumayushi. T1 with control over the Herald as AL approach. Flandra's going to look for a target, potentially here for the Death Realm. Herald down to 4K. Claw hits 2, but Flandra can't get any closer. Owner wants to take the objective. Paranoia's already gone out. Herald secured by Owner as the Ornhorn comes in, but only finds one. Keria locks up Hope. Gumayushi into the back line, and the AL AD carries already down. Owner tries to flash away. Doran in the middle of everybody, but Flandra barely stays alive. He should surely die right after the shield falls, and Owner kills him. Kael's on the run. T1's on the hunt. Everybody on AL's dropping, and T1 are absolutely demolishing the LPL team. Tarzan tries to dig through the wall. He'll barely escape, but it's Rift Herald plus 4 kills to the side of T1.
Even Guma lived! Shanks tried to go back in to kill him, but he couldn't get the vision, he couldn't get the damage! T1 have taken control of this game!
Tarzan wants to see if he can get Faker on the way out. May get the damage down, but AL are so far away. And now with the push on top side, how do you try and enter in towards River? How do you try and spot that Atakan has already been started by T1?
AL charged with a nearly impossible task. They are going to walk forward. They are going to see the Otacon started. They're bringing in the teleport. AL have to send some sort of a Hail Mary play here. Tarzan jumps in, only finds Doran. Keria looking for the Pop Blossom. He only finds it onto Kael. The Ornhorn flies through and Hope is already down. T1 have found their marks, and they want even more. Owner is smashed by Flandra in the Rift Herald pit here at the same time as Faker stays alive, and they cannot quite do it. Finally, they get the shutdown. AL's winning the fight. T1 may have overplayed. They may have overstayed. AL find their way back into the game. Flandra chasing after the lone survivor as the Otacon will be taken by anyone's legend.
AL, they deleted Keria and Shanks was able to finish off Guma. Like, there is so much damage, even from the beefcakes now on anyone legend, that you need to finish.
Yeah, certainly has. All right, let's take another look at this though. Top tower so low. Ale trying to use it.
Okay, they go in. The solar flare from Kael. Tarzan wants to swoop around, but the Impale misses. AL threw a lot out there. The Arcane Storm from Faker going to fully push back anyone's legend. Shanks all the way down in the bottom lane. Not going to teleport up for this. AL wanted to defend their tier 1, but when they swing and miss, it's easy for T1 to finish the job.
AL ever so slightly.
Watch out for the engage.
Yup, keep your eyes on Keria specifically here with the Nico. Teleport coming in from the AL side. Also T1 ready to reinforce. Ornhorn sounds off. Doran goes in. They're going to knock up Kael here at the very start, but into the back line. T1, Faker under pressure. The burst over the mid laner. They found him, but Hope is also already down. Shanks next to die. The Arcane Storm is a typhoon, but AL is fighting back. More damage to Gumayushi. Flandra wants him. Flandra can't find him. The mace will not connect over the wall. And now Tarzan goes on a killing spree. AL are winning another fight. Doran locked up.
He's going to walk down the mid lane, keep this pressure up in AL. They're looking at a little split.
Yeah, Gumayushi's going to take down the tier 2 turret. clears this very effectively, just as a lone unit, and it looks like they're going to grab it here. The Scryer's trinket used to see what T1 is doing. Shanks goes after Keria, chunks him out, but doesn't chunk him super low. T1 takes the Drake, and now they're ready for the 5v5. Doran summons up the Ornhorn. They're going in after Flandra. They want to focus the Mordekaiser. They've got him locked up in the CC, and Faker strikes him down. AL have lost their strongest player.
Have to defend the Baron, 4 versus 5.
T1 going after the big objective. Tarzan wants to step forward here, try to find a little bit of poke. Kael and Hope now. A nice catch from Doran. Hope is already down. Tarzan has to retreat. Ishtal's impact through the wall. They can't slow him down. They can't lock him up. T1 back onto the Baron yet again. Owner down to 25% HP. AL, they're going
could maybe survive and then find a higher value target. But if T1 continue to focus,
ready to try to stop him, but Gumayusi kills this objective very, very quickly. TP coming in from AL. Keria on the flank, off to the right, ready for the pincer attack. T1 gonna pull off the Baron. They do not want to allow it to get low enough for Tarzan to try to steal. Doran jumps in, knocks Kael up into the air. Shanks going in after Keria, wants to stop him. Ornhorn through the middle of the fight, and once again, Flandra's gonna get focused, but he is not dead. Big impale from Tarzan. A lot of damage comes through. Keria dies before the Pop Blossom. Flandra in a little bit of trouble now, but he's still fighting. The shield keeps him alive, but T1 is too strong. AL running now. They've lost 2. T1 have only lost their support. It's both supports down. Flandra, the extra man dead, means T1 win the fight.
Yeah, they melt the front line. Shanks is actually creeping around, but there's not much he can get. He's looking for an angle onto Guma.
If he can find Gumayusi, that's the angle. That's the only way to win it, and there he goes! Shanks with the hero play as Hope tries to escape from Doran, but the Bellows breath takes him down. Tarzan wants to get away from Owner, from Faker. He can't quite get there. He's feared up. Shanks nearly kills off Owner, but a beautiful spell shield keeps him alive. Shanks is trapped inside the gravity field, and Faker takes him down. Tarzan on the run. He's the only one left alive from the original fight. Kael has finally respawned. Faker and Doran are going to continue the chase now. If they can get a delayed kill on this jungler, they can almost guarantee themselves either a soul or a Baron, and that's exactly what they're doing. Tarzan will not be allowed to dig through the wall. The Arcane Storm.
the piss.
Exactly. It's free Baron for the side of T1. It's still 10 seconds before Tarzan is back on the Rift, and look at Faker's looking to do. The Mountain Soul belongs to T1. 34 minutes in.
Burst through all this extra durability on these T1 members. It's going to be very, very...
turret, a little bit more damage onto Tarzan, but it's not a lot. They don't need a lot, they just need time to chip away at these tier 3s. Doran with a Bellows Breath to get through the claw. Flandra loses half his HP. The Mordekaiser's going to be your target. Here goes the Ornhorn. They knock Flandra up into the air, but again, nobody under serious threat. Tarzan with an impale onto one, but he's about to die. He flashes away. Guma flashes in. Carry with a 3-man Pop Blossom will seal the fate of anyone's legend. Guma with a triple. Guma with a quadra. Only Flandra stands. Gumayusi finally dies, but AL will die with him. T1 will not go quietly. They will force down the Nexus turrets. They will move to the Nexus, and they will take us to Silver Scrapes.
He does have a history with it. Ooh, Ash plus Seraphine, the goated combo. Ash slows into Seraphine, immediately upgrading into the root, into the stun.
And what a terrifying bot lane that is to try and play against, because if anything lands onto that Jinx, she's going to be locked down immediately. And Ash but it's bot lane that might be in trouble.
Yeah, Gumayusi and Keria having to back away. The zap does not connect on Gumayusi. Tarzan down here in the bottom lane. Guma wants first blood on the Kael. It's going to be secured by Keria. A 1-for-1. But
this Drake will sneak away. He's on vision, but able to steal it away. And it'll be a nice little early game for T1.
Yeah, and I think that's the comms there. Hey. T1 know these objectives are ours.
Yeah, the kills are only 1-to-1, but T1 is solidly controlling the side lanes. They are controlling the objectives.
That is actually pretty big for the one-on-one. Owner.
Yeah. Tarzan wants to try to steal away this Drake. Keria and Owner, though, they don't care about that at all. They will smite it down.
Of guys like Tarzan and Kael, who AL played through for so much of this split. Oh, Tarzan though.
Tarzan with the Arctic Assault trying to get back into it now. Shanks could be the one under pressure, wants to fire back into the T1 lines. Owner flashing away, staying alive, but there's the Glacial Prison. Only connects under the tank, but Flanders arrived into the fight. They fight too! Anyone's Legend got exactly what they were looking for. Faker at least gets one back, but he falls as well. For the side of AL, they're saying, fine, take the Herald. That'll get you a turret later. We've already got a turret now alongside Feats of Warfare.
And how far do you want to push is T1?
Now, Doran is still up on the top side of the map, taking down that tier 1 turret, but he's going to go ahead and decide to teleport now to join up with the rest of the team. The Rift Herald is summoned up mid. Flandra separated from the rest of AL, and there's chunks under the AL health bars. T1 staying mostly grouped up. Keep your eyes on Keria over the wall. The arrow collides, but it's only on to Shanks, and he's at a safe distance, so no real value there. Redemption coming in. Seraphine ulti, no value. Owner's going to be in some danger as immediately Tarzan jumps in the middle of everyone and has to try to flash away. Flandra on the flank. Drake owned now by T1. They will force AL back and they will earn themselves soul point.
I feel like you can tell they are on a knife's edge right now. Everybody very antsy with some of these abilities being thrown out. In the end, though, T1, they win out. They get the dragon. They're going to get the tower as well. This is going to chop down on the gold lead.
Yeah, and they're basically getting
Slayer plus the Phantom Dancer. The Jinx having a pop-off moment in the team fight is exactly what AL needs if they want to find. They're gonna start up the Otacon. TP ready to arrive from the T1 side. Otacon loses his patience. AL have to be a bit careful. Flandra here on the side. He's gonna find Doran, who finds him, as now the Solar Snare finds Tarzan, and T1 are moving forward. They charm up the enemy jungler. Tarzan's already down, but Doran dies. Hope is excited, but where's the rest of the fight? Keria tries to get away. Gumayushi right beside him. Flandra here on the front line as Owner's gonna be chopped up. The Mundo dies. Hope's on a killing spree. Flandra going forward, but Faker takes him out. Hope, Shanks, and Kael trying to get away. Guma, Keria, and Faker stepping forward. The Otacon, it's impatient, but it's so close to dead. It is stolen away by Faker.
Engage here. Tarzan and Kael wrapping around the outside.
This is massive. If T1 gets it, it's a Hex Soul. 23 minutes into the game. AL knows they cannot afford to give that away. Hope looking for a little bit of poke, only finds Owner. AL with Shanks off to the side, looking to try to get some important burst there with the Syndra. One quick stun on the Doran isn't a whole lot. Faker 3-1-0 on the Mel. Rebuttal timing is also going to be huge in any of these fights. Flandra off to the side is going to be seen there by the ward. Jumps over the wall there with the Umbral Dash. T1 taking a little bit of poke here. Scatter the weak, no target found. Shanks still looking for a little bit more opportunity there. Owner losing about 1,000 HP here so far, but he is the Mundo, has plenty to work with. More zaps fired through. T1, they have the dragon down to 2/3 HP. AL continuing to step forward. Gumayushi trying to stay very far back. Goes for the arrow. He finds it on Shanks. AL's mid laner is under pressure, but he gets away for now. Doran creating space. Dragon at 40%. Tarzan still nearby, but so is Owner. Dragon losing patience. Flandra's World Ender is about to expire. Doran still here on the front line. Hit with the Q1 of Flandra. Owner at about half HP. Shanks looking for a little bit more. Dragon at 2K. Glacial Prison fired out. When it's claimed the soul for T1, but Owner has already died. AL have got to find more unless they want to lose the game here. Doran takes a ton of burst. Scatter the weak. The damage from the unleashed power. Shanks has another kill, and Tarzan is chasing after Faker. He gets the smite for the slow. They're gonna find another kill, but it's Hex Tech Soul for
T1 getting the Hex Tech Soul. It all comes down to this next couple of fights at the bar.
There's no follow-up from AL after.
Still, I like this from AL. See if they can find those picks. See if they can play off a vision. That's some damage onto Owner.
Yeah, they're going to commit onto the Doctor. Mundo! Shanks has killed him. Owner is dead. You want to talk about clutch moments? There you go. Tarzan and Flandra going forward. Faker's going to be caught. So much damage from AL. Faker about to die. Shanks on a rampage. Anyone's Legend. 2 huge kills.
The soul is not enough when the heart of the LPL is with anyone's Legend. They will move over towards the Baron as Shanghai erupts.
Doran, Keria, and Gumayushi 3v5, if nothing else. They need to stop the Baron from going over to AL right now. Shanks on the side, no ulti available for the Syndra here just yet. Tarzan over the wall, wants to go in after Keria. Infernal Chains are going to connect. This Seraphine is down. Tarzan is traded, but Doran has died too. It's Gumayushi against anyone's legend as he tries to kite and fight, but he's stunned. Good night, but kill for Shanks. Reset. AL, they send Flandra into the mid lane to answer the wave, clear that one out. The rest of AL remaining by the Drake.
You have to be so careful as AL. One of these spells lands and that Hextech so slows you, it can give T1 the opportunity to chase you down. As Flandre on the reset picked up his GA.
Okay, T1, they're moving into the river. They're taking total control now. Hope wants to grab the red buff, and Flandre needs to get back out and join up with the rest of AL here for the fight. Red buff secured. Elder Drake started, but so slowly. Flandre gonna move forward, try to clear away the control ward. They're going in after the Aatrox. They set him up with the arrow. Flandre has been caught at a critical moment. Over the wall goes Tarzan. Wild Growth coming in from Kael. Guardian Angel will bring Flandre back, but where is the damage on AL's side? Doran into the back line. Kael is already down. Doran killed in response. T1 pushing forward. Shanks the next kill. Hope trying to kite. He needs to get away because T1 have won the fight 2-1.
Flandre is trying to reset and teleport back in. He's trying to link up with the team. The minions are here. They need to turn it. That's the teleport.
Okay, T1, they've got to understand this Aatrox is probably their target. Flandre arrives. Solar Snare looking to lock him up. Owner taking a ton of damage. Hope is excited. Flandre's got the kill. Solar Snare on Hope, but it's not going to do any more. Flandre's going to try to get away. Goes back in here for the Q1. Tarzan wants to engage with the Gumayushi, but he cannot find him. Flandre over the wall. Wants Faker. Can't get the damage. Hope can't do it either. Gumayushi's still alive. T1 out team fight anyone's legend.
It's Kael that is up, but can they stand against so many members of T1?
In their possession, you would have to think that T1 is going to take a stroll up into the top side of the rift and add Baron to it.
This now becomes a game of delay.
The Elder, the Baron, the Soul, the Otacon, every possible advantage you could have.
Will assault the base. Here comes the push. Baron empowered, Elder empowered. T1 are on the warpath.
T1 just going straight to the enemy base. Tier 3 turret doesn't stand a chance. Inhibitor knocked down right after. Tarzan and Hope meaning
right now. The hope for AL.
Well, it's gonna need a lot more than just some hopes, some dreams, some prayers. They're gonna need this Elder timer to expire if they want to have a chance against T1, who now have nearly a 3,000 gold lead on top of all those buffs. Elder getting down very low, about 20 seconds or so left here on this buff. The next wave about to arrive, and you know T1 are going to force their way in for a second lane of super minions. Doran guiding the top lane minions up now as well as the second inhibitor falls, and T1 are looking for the end of the game. The Elder's got 15 seconds left on it. T1 guiding the Baroned up minions toward the Nexus turrets. Solar Snare not hitting a target. Flandre and the rest of AL scrambling to try to defend. Nexus turret's down to about half HP. Owner takes some burst. Tarzan takes more. T1 looking for the engage. They found Flandre, but he gets away. Half HP on the front line of AL. T1 pushing forward. They've made their way on the Nexus. AL scrambles to defend. Doran can't do it. History is written by the victors. And yet again, T1 turns the page of the LPL. They will once again earn their place.